What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the post-game spread. This is going to be part 2 of the Chad Sedio story. Really excited to drop this one on you guys. I think we hit our stride in part 2. We kind of pick it off right where his career changed from. He was an affiliated, had a year where he went from A-ball to AAA. Then COVID hit and things changed. You know, he got released, ended up getting hooked up with teacherman Richard Shank. Changed his swing, got into indie ball and started mashing. Has been all over the country with indie ball, has been in the Mexican League, played ball in Nicaragua. We go through all that. We go through an awesome hitters corner where we have some really high level hitters talk. Chad is one of my favorite guys on Instagram as a hitting coach. Go check him out. He is one of the few, I think there's about 20 guys that are HLP certified, that is high level pattern certified from teacherman. I have a hard time refuting it. Chad's awesome. And then we get through our baseball Q&A, some hitter stuff, some really fun baseball questioning there, and just a really fun career this guy has had. And I thought it was kind of cool that Chad is kind of at a crossroads where he's deciding on whether or not to keep playing or not. He's 31, but had 19 pumps this year in indie ball. And I thought it was kind of cool that he's going to be kind of looking back on his career as we, as he decides whether or not he wants to keep playing. So hope you guys enjoyed this. This is going to be the Chad Sedio story, part 2. And now a few words from our sponsors. We are proud to be brought to you by Hudson Chiropractic and the Hudson family. Located in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. You can find them at 3232 Independence Street, HudsonChiroCape.com, 573-335-7349. They've got over 700 five-star reviews, all five-star reviews on Google. That speaks for itself. This is, of course, my former teammate, friend, brother, Murray State great, Seth Hudson, an all-time great second baseman in Racer history. He finished second all-time in hits when his career ended. Hudson Chiropractic, your bridge to a better health. They can do everything you can think of chiropractic-wise, adjustments, soft tissue, DOT exams. Seth is really doing his thing down there, and Cape has a beautiful family, raising a couple sluggers. We really appreciate your support. Thank you, Hudson Chiropractic and family. This episode is brought to you by Glisten Heating and Air. You can reach them at 217-341 or visit glistenheatingandair.com. That's GLISSON. This is owned and operated by Gibbs Gleason himself, a member of the 2000 Pleasant Plains baseball team that were state champs. That's the Dusty Bensko era, former guest. This guy's in the baseball community. He helps coach his son, who's in the local travel scene. This truly is the pros pro for HVAC in the area. I mean, this is a who's who of former pros that have used him. Let's talk about Corey Erickson, Jason Worth, Ryan Murphy, Jason Knadler, Justin Knadler, Brad Owens, Greg Morantz, Jason Washam, Eric Easley. His reviews speak for themselves. Call Glisten Heating and Air. They care about your air. We appreciate you. We are also brought to you by BOS, Bank of Springfield, and Jason Knadler. The Bank of Springfield has essentially a whole baseball team over there. I'm talking guys like Jason Knadler, Justin Knadler, Timmy Ballin Wallen, Eric Weaver, Ryan Murphy, Murph Mathiot, Frank Stefano, Greg Morantz. I trust every single one of these guys to handle my money and to steer me in the right direction financially. There are 3 locations across the greater Springfield area for your convenience. Bank boldly with BOS. We really appreciate you guys. We are proud to be supported by Flow Yoga and Meditation, located at 1921 West Isles. Phone number 217-670-2388. Email flowspf.com. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook. They offer Pilates, Hatha of all levels from chair to power, vinyasa, private sessions. Their mission is to create a welcoming, all-inclusive community where folks from every walk of life can connect and practice yoga, meditation in a loving, relaxed environment. We really appreciate your support. Namaste.
I just had that light on. I didn't know if.
Oh, okay. No, it looks great.
I
The
think
only thing that I like that hat though, man. I was expecting the Chief Wahoo, so I got a Chief Wahoo behind you. Can you see it?
I see it. Who is
Yeah.
that? Just a generic one, or is that like a Kenny Lofton, Jim Thome?
So I've got this weird thing that I do for guests, former guests. I have these like player exclusive. So I go out and I find a Henley 2-button on eBay, like an old school one, the t-shirt jersey, and then I have like a player's name put on the back. So that's actually a former guest of mine. But
Oh, okay.
I
Nice.
liked your hat so much the last time that I decided to get that out, the Chief Wahoo. So
That's the best.
yeah, so here we are, man. We're back in the saddle. How are we doing?
Good.
Yeah,
Not much
Uh,
has changed.
yeah. Just been giving lessons since the last time we met like a week ago doing this same time. You've been giving lessons. What you been doing, my man?
Yeah. Giving lessons, doing some remote stuff and hitting on my own, just
Mm-hmm.
regular baseball activity.
For sure, man. So I absolutely loved part one with us. I think we've got at least probably today and maybe another session to go. But a couple things stuck out to me about our last session. And for those of you guys joining us, this is going to be part two of the Chad Sedio story, a really cool journey through baseball here. But a couple things. A funny thing is, has anyone ever told you you bear a resemblance to Danny Noonan from Caddyshack?
No, I've heard Rick Sutcliffe.
I can see that too.
Yep. If you Google him, you can see like, especially when I have longer hair and it's like
Yeah,
really, and I got like a big beard.
yeah.
That the Rick Sutcliffe. I haven't heard that one though. What you just
Okay,
said.
well, Danny Noonan. And then secondly, privately, you and I have texted a little bit, and I thought, I don't know why my mind came to this, but you shared with me that even after this really strong year you just had, that you were kind of on the fence about whether or not to continue on as a player, and that you had offers out there. But I thought this was such an interesting place for you because we're going to be going back kind of through your career, right? A deep dive
Mhm.
into it. And I was wondering if the reflection through all of this was going to make you feel like I want to keep going or I've had enough. And this is like, I feel good. I feel good about the stopping point. Has that thought come across your mind at all?
Well, I mean, I love playing. If I could, I'd play till I was 50.
Yeah,
But I think you get a little older, the body starts wearing down a little bit.
sure.
Maybe I was playing well, and I didn't hear from any teams. I was hitting 400 at one time this season,
Right. Right.
and I had a good amount of at bats in. I had some, I was hitting for power and stuff. So, and I didn't hear anything at that point, and I know I'm not young
Right.
at this, which sounds crazy, but in the
No, I mean,
baseball
like, are you
world, I'm
31?
not 31. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, 31, do you think you would have a different story if you had had the year you had, but you're 26 or 27 in indie ball? Possibly, right?
Well, I had a very good year when I was 26 and 27. One of them was during COVID,
Yeah.
so not sure how I don't know if it was viewed as legitimate. Um, it was sort of a pickup league. I
Yeah.
thought it was pretty good as far as competition goes, but that's up to interpretation. That those stats aren't even on Baseball Reference. But the next season in 2021, I had a good year. It was in the Frontier League. I had a very good year.
Wait, what stats are not on baseball reference? Because I've got a year in pro ball that's not on baseball reference too, and it's always irked me. I was in the Freedom League.
Okay. 2020. So 2020, which is where we kind of left
Left
off.
off, yeah.
But I went and played in August and September in Florence. There were two teams in Florence and two teams in Lexington. And so it was a 4-team league. It was a huge
Oh, right.
mixture
Okay.
of players. We
Hmm.
had guys with major league experience,
Yeah.
guys like myself that had been all through the minors. We had guys that had never played, I don't think, past college. So it was a lot of different,
Sure.
shapes and sizes, and I thought it was pretty good overall.
Yeah.
But those stats aren't up. If you want to hear the stats, I can give them to you.
I want to know them. What do you
I
got?
hit 370 with 13 homers in, I
Yeah.
believe it was 39 games,
That's mashing.
and that was right after I had made this swing transformation.
Ooh.
So I
Ooh.
was already bought in, but you have not instant success, but success right after changing. Let's say
Yeah.
2 months after, 3 months after, but I just wanted to dive in deeper and deeper and figure out, how to do that the course of an entire season, a
Yeah.
regular
So
season,
when
120 games, 140 games.
when did the swing change happen? Are you talking about getting with Richard at this point?
Yes.
So
I went to
when did that?
Richard at the end of May in 2020. So I got sent home from spring training with the Tigers
Hmm.
in March. I was only there a few days.
Yeah.
And that was when I think the NBA was maybe the first league. I don't remember which league was the first one to kind of like
Shut down.
cease playing.
Right.
And then it trickled into baseball. And then it was, all right, go home. We'll see you. You know, it'll only be a little bit, a week or two. And then it turned into the whole minor league season getting canceled.
Yeah.
So I was at home, buddy of mine I talked to all the time. We were just, you know, making a little money during COVID. We were pretty bored like everybody else
Sure.
in the world. So we were just talking swings as we normally did.
Yeah.
And he had had a strong year, but didn't hit for as much power as he thought he could
Hmm.
in 2019.
Yeah.
And I was the same way. I had a pretty solid year, but nothing like forcing, you know, getting called up all the way to the show, or I
Yeah.
wasn't like knocking the door down.
Right.
I was just doing well enough to keep a job.
Sure.
I guess that's up to interpretation, but whatever.
Hmm.
So yeah, we both just felt like we had more in the tank. We didn't necessarily hit rock bottom and need a swing change,
Right.
but we believed we had a lot more power. So we went together at the end of May to see Richard for the first time. And it was awesome. I mean, we went in there with an
Mhm.
open mind, not, hey, I just want to do a little bit of this. We're like, whatever, we don't have a season going on. Let's just dive in, see what happens.
Right. You're totally open minded. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did. And I think what took the I guess the path to being open minded was I finally saw my own swing from an outside perspective. It
How
sounds
so?
goofy,
Tell
but
me
it's
about.
like
Take me there.
people will look at their own swing and they see themselves like, oh yeah, my swing looks good. But then you lose this perspective because it's you.
Right. Absolutely.
Like,
Hundred
oh, I
percent.
crushed that ball, but you're not
Right.
seeing it the same way you would see somebody else's swing.
Right. Absolutely. Not that truly analytical, like looking at it. Yeah, I get what
Right.
you're saying.
So we had been sharing some videos of our own swings with each other and different people we knew and different stuff. And I came across a swing of one of his, I think, former teammates that had been doing the HLP stuff for a little while.
Yeah.
And the speed of the swing was, to
Right.
me, it was like,
Unmistakable.
whoa,
Right.
this is insane. Like I've been told my whole life, you got fast hands, you got power. Okay. But this swing was different that I saw.
Right.
So I videoed my own swing, put it next to the swing that I was like, whoa. And my swing looked horrible.
Right.
Now, was it horrible? No, probably not by just normal
Most people's
standards.
standards. Sure.
But for what I was, you know, wanting to be, wanting my career to look like,
Yeah.
I want my swing to look like the best.
Sure.
So that video, I remember seeing that video, seeing the side by side, like, yeah, that my swing does not look like that.
Right.
So that encouraged me to go see somebody, you know.
Yeah. So then let me pause you for 1 second here, because for those of you that don't even know what we're talking about, this is a fascinating story here of Richard Shank, teacher man. This guy essentially tried to figure out the baseball swing to help his son coming up. His son was an upcoming, baseball collegiate player, spent hours and hours and hours, that 10,000 hours trying to become an expert in his basement, trying to figure this out, watching video, watching elite guys, and came up with these ways of teaching the swing that have completely revolutionized things. And you can look at the swing totally different now. So it's fascinating that a dad with a passion for the swing, learning it, has changed the game of baseball completely. I just wanted just a little pause there. Keep
Yeah,
going.
that was a good explanation.
Sure.
So yeah, we went to see him, and I remember all of the stuff we did at first was so different from anything I had been taught.
Right. What were you thinking?
I just thought I was just willing. I was just super open minded. I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know how this is relevant to the swing, but I'll try it.
Sure.
So we did a few drills, and then I want to say, maybe on the second day or third day, because we went for 3 days the first time.
Mhm.
We hit a couple times a day. And on that third day, I took one swing, and
You got it.
I had never felt that before.
Hmm.
And there's videos of Judge talking where he says the same thing.
Like, whoa, that was different.
Like that, I've never taken one like that in my life. Like
Right.
even the furthest hit ball I've ever hit, that it didn't feel like that did.
Yeah. You had that
Um,
moment.
It was that aha moment, and I felt the quickness, and
Yeah.
looking back at that swing, it wasn't even that, like, it didn't look that pretty, but the quickness was there.
Yeah, like your body realized something was different, like it was firing in a different way.
So at that point, it became like a drug. I was hooked. I
Right,
was
yeah, let me do this, yeah.
I had to figure out how I
And
can repeat
these
this.
are all new drills, all new vernacular, all these things that he was talking about were completely foreign to you. Yes? Or where
Correct.
were you at with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had been taught, I guess, the old school way, or just, a lot of talk about the hands,
Yeah.
a lot of talk about, you know, extension, getting
Mhm.
through the ball, not much talk about what happens at launch,
Yeah.
what we should feel in our back chain. I had never
Yeah.
been,
Yes.
and I was around some pretty good baseball minds and some very good hitters, but I had just, the terminology was different, the drills were different.
Yeah.
And there's definitely more than one way to learn,
Sure.
a great swing, but this stuff was very intriguing for me
Yeah.
specifically because I had not had that power. I would hit 5, 6 home runs a year with the Tigers. I had 11 one year and I had
Yeah.
3 one year. But
A little bit of something there, but
most of those would go very, very far.
yeah.
They were not wall scrapers by any means.
So you knew there was something in you, but you couldn't quite get to it consistently. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. So I was like, why can't I just hit the ball maybe 50 feet less and way more often?
Mhm.
Now, I don't believe that training a high level pattern, teacher man style, makes you lose any power. I think it makes you quicker. And maybe that's a misconception people have. Like, well, if I try to swing quick, I won't have as much power.
Right.
I believe that's false. But I think training in that way, you barrel the ball more often
Yeah.
if you're doing it correctly. Obviously, hitting is still really hard. I think
Sure.
it's funny when people will criticize, like, well, he's doing the teacher man stuff and he's hitting 200 in the last 3 weeks. Like,
Right.
well, you can do any style you want. You're going to slump. It's hitting.
Yeah.
The hardest thing to do in sports.
Sure.
So,
So tell me about first meeting Richard. What were your first impressions of him? Because he's a controversial guy.
right. I was a little intimidated because I knew, looking at my swing, I knew it wasn't going to be something that he's like, oh, yeah, this is great. Before I worked with him.
Yeah.
So, but great. I mean, really nice guy.
Yeah.
There was no, I enjoyed working with him. I still enjoy working with him. He's
Have you read the
very,
book Swing Kings?
I have not. Is he in that book?
He's in it, and it's all about the swing revolution. And he gets a bad rap, I think, at times. And they mentioned in the book that in meeting him, a lot of people find him a lot more friendly and warm than people talk about him online.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, so I met him and it was a good conversation. He's very
Yeah,
passionate.
sure.
I'm obviously very passionate about the swing. So was the guy that went with me.
Yeah,
So we all meshed really well, and there was really no issues. There were no arguments or anything. It
yeah,
was, we were working and we were all really dialed in, and I ended up I drove 8 hours to see him. We hit 5 times in 3 days, and then the next weekend I drove another 8 hours because I had to learn
yeah.
more.
And you feel like you were getting it as it went?
Yeah, I was definitely progressing.
Right.
I was a long way off.
Yeah,
Um, and I was definitely seeing a lot of progression, and I was willing to do whatever he told me, essentially, as
yeah,
far as like, hey, what should I do in between now and next time?
yeah.
And he said, don't hit a baseball.
Really?
Just work on this single move.
Was it the snap and tilt,
It was essentially, yes, the
or the
snap.
coil?
It was grabbing a bendy stick, a golf tool,
Yeah,
and trying to break it without your hands moving.
yeah.
So I grabbed a kid's golf club I had in
I
my
love that drill.
parents'
Yeah, and
garage at the time.
feeling it here.
Yeah, I grabbed a kid's golf club with like the flexible
Yeah,
shaft, and then I just did this thing for, I don't even know, maybe 500 reps a day. It was insane.
yeah.
I had
Just trying to ingrain that movement pattern.
yeah, I had all kinds of pain in my side from doing it in my back. I was like, I
Yeah,
got to get this. And I think I knew because I was 25 or 26, I don't remember, when I went. I knew I had so many years of let's
Undoing.
say, yeah, the wrong muscle memory.
Hmm.
So I was smart enough at the time, not saying I'm a genius, I'm just saying I had you know, the
Yeah,
ability to see that I need to not hit a ball and just let all the bad muscle memory come back and try to
sure.
fight that. I need to
Right.
get the movement pattern correct
Yeah.
and then try to apply it. So
So
no,
you
I
were
didn't.
all in based on all everything that you had seen with Richard and how you had progressed. You felt like I'm on this new path with this swing. I'm in.
Once I felt, I mean, I was in, but once I felt that one swing I was referring to, I was
Yeah.
really like, okay, that
Let's
was,
go. Oh,
yeah,
that's cool. I'm excited
yeah,
for you.
that
Yeah.
was different. So,
Okay.
yeah, so then I went back the next week, might have been
Hmm.
10 days later, not sure. But after not hitting a ball and the swings were much better,
Really.
much better. There was a huge improvement in just that week and a half. Um, so from that point forward, it was like, okay, the movements in a way are more valuable than just hitting.
Hmm.
Obviously, there's a time and a place for both. Like if you're going to play a game, you need to be able to time the ball up and hit
Yeah.
off speed pitches and stuff. But
Right.
you're reworking your swing, like you just hitting off a tee and constantly wanting to hit the ball is not
Yeah.
necessarily the most efficient way. Maybe for
Yeah.
some people, but for me, it wasn't.
Were there some drills that he initially had you do where you were like, man, this is so far off from anything I've ever done before? Like, does anything jump out to you like that?
Yeah,
All of it?
pretty much all of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much all of them. I just remember like using the insider bat, that little red tool with the
Yeah.
flat face. I was horrible at that.
Hmm.
I was horrible at the flat bat. Um, I was horrible at the command drill.
Yeah.
I had a lot of movement that I didn't know about.
Yeah. That still had to
Yeah.
get worked out.
Yep,
Your true launch position. Yeah.
correct. And yeah, it was all so new, and I definitely
Yeah.
was bad at
Right.
first learning anything. Like
Yeah.
I just started playing guitar a couple years ago, but when I first started, I felt like a kindergartner. Like
Right.
you're
Sure.
gonna have
Same
that
thing.
feeling.
Yeah.
You're gonna have that feeling. Like, have
But
I ever hit a baseball before?
that's a weird feeling for someone that's 25 and in professional baseball and has been in AAA. That's
Correct.
interesting point to be at. Have you ever heard the terms like snap, tilt, coil, any of these things before?
Never. No.
Yeah.
Never.
So cool. Yeah. And I've always thought my thought is that a lot of people in baseball are opposed to that because they haven't heard that. It's like new vernacular.
Yeah, it's a lot of it. Sometimes I think people get lost in the terminology,
Yeah.
uh,
Right.
because you hear the terms in hitting. I mean, I'm sure in other sports too. I know a little bit about golf too. It's like you walk into any facility, there's going to be some instructor in some capacity telling a hitter to be connected.
Sure.
Now, what does that actually mean?
Right.
You can ask 100 different instructors, and they're going to give you
Hmm.
90 different answers. Well, it means be connected. Okay, well, how vague can that be?
Yeah.
So I think people are opposed to the terminology because it's really trying to explain the finer details that would never, in my opinion, they were never really explained.
Yeah, for sure. Now,
Now,
I can remember when I first messaged you and asked you a little bit about HLP, you were a little bit, I felt like you were slightly defensive because you thought maybe I was asking like in like some sort of a passive aggressive way or something. Like I think I asked you, how do you get HLP certified? And I truly meant it. Like I was just fascinated and was looking into it. And you were like, where are you going with this? I think you said something like that because it's a controversial subject. Wouldn't you agree?
yes, I mean, I've made it a point to not argue online
Yeah,
with
good for you.
many people.
Yeah,
I don't think it's not my personality.
sure,
Um, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. If you disagree with me, that's okay.
sure,
But there are a lot of people that on a lot of posts I make and things I say, they tell me I'm an idiot, and it's
sure.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm used to that.
Hmm.
So, and I
For
think
sure.
it's also kind of wild that I can show you a drill, I can show you my game swing, I can show you exactly how the two are very, very, very similar.
Yeah.
And then I'm still told,
You're still an
no, you
idiot.
know what you're talking about. I'm like, well, I mean, if you're gonna not want to learn, then
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
it's
Dude,
like
I'm even I cannot refute anything in the HLP, and I've got so many friends that are hitting coaches, and I consider myself somewhat of an amateur hitting coach, and I'm even careful about who I want to talk about HLP to, because if I even bring it up, some guys immediately are like, "You're an idiot. I'm not even talking to you." But some of these concepts, and when I get into it, like when I actually hit a little bit myself, man, when you get into those feels and you're like, "That's how it's supposed to feel." Like I've had some moments too where I was like, man, I wish I could have swung like this when I was in my prime, you know?
absolutely. And I think a very major disconnection there is with the way people view HLP is it's viewed, in my opinion, it's viewed as a new thing,
Yeah.
a new
It's not a
style.
new thing.
It's not. It is a pattern that was discovered, observed. You can go back to Mickey Mantle
100%.
or even before that, Babe Ruth, if you want to,
Yeah.
and see the different things that HLP is putting under a magnifying glass.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's one of it's like it's viewed as this like new way of hitting. Well, the drills may be new;
Right.
they are new,
But the pattern
relatively
isn't.
speaking. But the objective of the drills and the movement
Well
patterns
said.
are definitely not new. Willie Mays was doing it, like
Yeah.
that
Fascinated.
that ain't new.
And let me just say, dude, I think your videos are awesome. I think you're an awesome hitting coach. Go follow this guy on Instagram. Some amazing stuff there. Let's keep going on HLP stuff. So sent you home, told you not to swing, came back, and you were feeling great. Let's pick it up from there.
Yeah, there were a few different adjustments to not use my arms as much.
Yeah.
So when I say that, I'm talking about the moves I didn't know I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just being able to make one move and swing, I had to do another move and then start
Yeah.
to swing. So that's taking the arms out of it is essentially getting rid of all that extra movement you don't know about.
What a crazy concept for people that have only been, growing up, I was always told hands, 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 hands,
Mm,
hands, So to think,
yep.
let's get my hands out of this is like, whoa, that's kind of crazy too.
Right. So one of the main ways you do that is you put the bat on your shoulder.
Yeah.
So now if
Neck
I
slot.
move my hands and I don't know about it, the bat comes off of my shoulder. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I just moved my hands, which happened at first.
Mm-hmm.
I would have it on the shoulder, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, well, I didn't even
Yep.
realize I was doing that.
Yep.
It was just like sleepwalking,
Mm-hmm.
And so bat on the shoulder for let's say 2 weeks. It's like have to feel loading up without the hands just floating around.
Yeah.
So then I believe I went back one more time before the season in 2020.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I sort of shaped like, okay, how am I going to make this not simplified, but easy enough that I'm not constantly thinking about it in the box.
Right. Yeah.
So
Because
I
this
guess
is
simple, but
a new swing for you going into a season. That's got to be an interesting thing for you to like, yeah, how do you let this go? Because it's a new mechanics and you don't want to slip back into old stuff.
right. So I got rid of a stride entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I essentially no stride. In the game, it turned into like a very small stride that was super late, but for all intents and purposes, it was a no stride.
Yeah.
And that made it a heck of a lot easier to
Mm-hmm.
translate my cage swing to the game.
Yeah.
So I was only really focusing on a couple of the tools we had used. I was just trying to mimic the movement pattern of those tools. One of
Yeah.
those is the whip stick, the stick with the beads in it.
Yep.
I was trying to get that really good sound right away.
Sure.
So I would go into batting practice because we didn't even have a cage that season. It was COVID. So like no
Yeah.
locker room, no cage, just show up, take BP on the field,
Yeah.
change in the dugout if you want, play the game.
Yeah.
So I would show up after doing the drills at home and then I would hit. And it was simple enough in what I was, trying to do where I hit for a very good average and I was hitting a home run every 3 games.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, now the power is actually showing up.
Yeah.
So
And at what percentage do you feel like effort are you putting into these swings?
um that's an interesting question. There's still a lot of effort, but it's a different type of effort.
Mhm.
I would say if you're comparing it to, I used to I used to swing like I was bench pressing 300 pounds, and now
Yeah,
I'm doing clapping push-ups.
perfectly put. That's beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
love
So
that.
it was still tiring. It was still effort, but it was just like,
Yeah,
where am I focusing on the speed?
yeah.
What is the ultimate goal with how I'm moving?
Are you officially not a part of the Tigers organization anymore at this point?
I got released beginning of July. So I had
Okay.
gone and seen Rich twice,
Hmm.
felt very good about the progress I was making.
Yeah,
Nobody knew about it with the Tigers. That had no relevance to me getting
sure.
released. And then I got released because of, I don't know, because of COVID, in my opinion. But
I mean, it seems like you had played well enough to keep going in this organization. Still, I mean, you would have been 26, I guess, going into this year. With stops at all the way till AAA and performed. So, was it at all a surprise that you got let go, or do you think that was possibly coming?
um I guess it was a little surprising, but every year I knew where I was as far as I signed for, like I said, 1.5 thousand.
Right.
Um, I knew I wasn't, a priority.
Sure.
I had played well enough to hold a job, and I
Yeah.
was hoping to kind of just sneak my way up the ranks as a utility guy,
Yeah.
which I essentially did.
Kind of
And,
did. Yeah.
yeah. So it was a little surprising. I think I was more surprised that after that, I didn't hear from teams, but
Anyone?
also teams weren't signing guys during COVID
Right.
because of, they were cutting a whole level out, if not two. They were doing all that. But I played really well during that 2020 40 game season. I thought I had played well enough, like, okay, maybe a team will take a shot at me. I don't have any years under my belt where I've performed badly.
Right.
I had done pretty solid. So then I didn't hear anything.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't want to cut you off. Do you want to go to that off season?
Sure. I mean, yes. I've got you next year with the Florence Yaws, and you absolutely mashed. So we'll get there. But is there more stuff with Richards here that you want to keep talking about, or do you feel like you've kind of ran the gamut with that?
Um, well, I went back after the season. I was learning more.
Yeah.
I went back again. I went back a bunch of times. Yeah, it was just a lot of the same, like just new drills and
Yeah.
new things and progressing. It wasn't.
Let me ask you this: when you were playing in that COVID kind of season, were guys curious about what you were doing? Were they asking about like some different stuff that you were doing?
It's like any year, Sometimes people are looking around in the beginning, like, "What's this guy doing?"
Yeah.
There's ways that I was hiding what I was doing, especially
Right.
because cage.
Uh huh.
Because I'm not a loud guy. I'm not a loud teammate. I don't love, attention for no reason. So
I can see
I'm
that.
gonna do my thing
Yeah.
on the side, and we'll play, and that'll be it. But I did have people asking questions once I was hitting 400 with 10
Yeah.
home, stuff like that. But
Have you
uh,
had any pushback in pro ball with some of the unique stuff that you're doing from a hitting coach?
definitely, yeah, yep.
Interesting. And
Um,
then how do that's a weird place to be at because you want to be coachable and you don't want to be the guy that won't listen at all. But if you believe in what you're doing too, you want to go out on your own sword if you're going to go out.
right, and that was a decision I had to make, with myself. Is like, am I
Sure.
just going to cave and do what the hitting coach wants me to do because
Yeah.
that's what he believes, or am I going to stick to my guns and do what? Yeah, I didn't just waste all this time trying to change my swing just to
How
go
do you
back.
respectfully do that?
How do I respectfully do that?
Yeah.
Um, I think I just needed to be well read on what I was doing,
Right. Have
so I
answers.
could actually have answers to
Yeah.
what. And when I had answers to the majority of questions asked, they were like, "Okay." And again, if I showed up that year and hit poorly, or if I showed up the next year and hit poorly, or even the year after that,
Yeah.
I'm sure there would have been like, "Hey, what are you doing?" But
If you're hitting well,
not
like
my own horn here, but I
yeah.
kind of did very, very well.
Mashed 319, 15 pumps, 29 doubles. I mean, quite the jump offensively for you.
Right. I was finally getting, I think I had almost 50 extra base hits. So I was
Yeah.
finally getting that extra base hit consistency that I had
Sure.
been searching for, really, for like 5 years. I
Yeah.
hadn't done that since summer ball of junior year of college.
Right. So how did you get hooked up with Florence? Did you actually go to the league-wide tryout, or did you
Oh
get picked
yeah, I
up, or
forgot to mention that.
did you do that?
2020. So I had I went to school near Cincinnati, and
Mhm.
I had a trainer who, after rookie ball, I worked out with this guy in Cincinnati. My agent set me up with. He told me about this league they were having during COVID 2020. And then, wait, where were we? What were we just talking about?
We were about to get to the Florence Y'alls here, I
Oh,
think.
yeah, yeah. So the open tryout, sorry.
Yeah. I've
Just
done that
totally,
before too. It's a
totally
cluster.
lost my train of thought.
Sure.
So he told me about an open tryout. I had to pay $100 and I went.
Mhm.
And they let anybody in.
They
And,
do.
with respect to everyone there, like there were some players that did not. It was just kind of,
I think there was someone there in jeans one time when I was there.
yeah, there was a very, very wide
Yes.
variety of
Range of
all.
players there. Yep.
I do remember taking one round off the machine and getting one of the coaches came over and he said, "You made the team." As a like he was joking because he knew the situation. He knew that I knew I was going to make the team.
Sure.
So that happened, and then I knew the guys in Florence. I didn't know much about where you should go in indie ball. I asked around. I didn't really have many answers.
Yeah.
Which leagues were for the guys right out of college, which leagues were for more experienced players. I didn't really know, but I knew I liked the people in Florence as far as the coaching
Yeah.
staff. And I knew that it was a pretty, reputation wise, it was a pretty good league.
That's interesting. You probably had enough juice and experience to go Atlantic or American right there. When you say
For sure.
we're
Yeah.
for Frontiers, more probably guys early released in their careers, like A ball or fresh out of college that didn't get pro ball at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely guys sprinkled in like myself,
Sure. I
whether
played
it's,
in the Frontier myself.
proximity to home or whatever it was. Like I wasn't close to home, but
Right.
um, I just, I had a job there. So I
Sure.
went.
Yeah.
And that was that. I figured if I play well enough, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I'm in American, Atlantic, Frontier.
Smashed.
So yeah, I played pretty well. Nothing really crazy about that year. Had a good team. I
Any any affiliated teams come calling, talking to you?
I had a few. Yeah, I had a few. I had a few that I was updating my stats every couple weeks, every
Yeah.
week. They were watching, or at least they told me they were.
Yeah.
And then the end of that year, I had a couple workouts, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
with some teams. I had the Diamondbacks and Mets.
But nothing quite shook out. Obviously.
Well, the one Diamondbacks one, there were so many guys there. There was like 75 players there. One got signed.
Yeah.
I had a good showing, but so did a lot of guys.
Right.
And yeah, so then the next season I figured, well, I did well in the Frontier League. Why don't we just go to a different league and do well there, see what happens?
And this is the Milwaukee Milkmen?
Correct.
Yeah. Take me there.
Yeah. So I knew about the Chicago Dogs, and I knew like they had a good stadium and
Yeah.
good spot. And I knew about Milwaukee just from playing with some people that had been there or played against them or whatever. And then I ended up getting traded. Well, I asked for a trade, but just to go to a different league because in indie ball they have your rights, for a couple of
Sure.
years.
Yeah.
So I got traded to Milwaukee and then showed up there and hit really
No-
well.
Yeah, another strong year here. I've got you at 273, 10 pumps, 5 doubles, and essentially 176 at bats here. How would you compare competition wise the American to the Frontier?
At the time it was similar. I'm not sure anymore.
Yeah, just during your time when you played.
Yeah, I think it was pretty similar. I mean, you just have a little more consistency with
Yeah.
higher velocity guys and a little quicker of a game. Not
Yeah.
not anything crazy. I think the
What,
same can be said from American to Atlantic.
what would you compare the level of competition in the Frontier and affiliated, like short season, rookie ball?
It's hard to say. This is one of the hardest questions. It's like, what is it compared to? Well, sometimes it feels like rookie ball. Sometimes it feels like AAA. So it's
That's
hard.
the damn truth, dude. That's a great answer.
Yeah, I mean, and I believe it makes it a little more difficult to hit when you're
Yeah,
seeing somebody that's all over the place,
sure.
and then you're seeing a guy just spotting up with a good splitter or something like, okay, well,
100%.
I got to lock it in. I mean, you got to lock in
Yeah.
every at bat, but it makes it interesting. It's kind of like in college when you're facing 95 with a good slider, and then the next day you're seeing 83 with a bad changeup. Like it's such a big gap there.
That's well
Makes it
said.
tough
Well
to tell.
said. So, did you have a good experience with Milwaukee here?
Yeah, it was pretty short, as far as how long I was there, but
Yep.
it was good. I mean, it was freezing when we started, but
Why was it shorter than why didn't you play a full schedule with them?
I went to Mexico.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure the timeline of this. So do you want to start there?
Sure.
Take me there. Take me to Mexico, buddy.
Yeah, I got an offer to go to Mexico. At this point, I had pretty much given up on an MLB team signing me.
Hmm.
Not like, "Oh, I'm feeling sorry for myself," but I was like, "All right, well, it ain't gonna happen because I just had a tremendous year in the
Yeah,
Frontier League. I just did well at these workouts. I'm being told there's no room for anyone."
sure.
This was around the time, like, everyone was cutting rosters more and more,
Yeah,
major league teams and their whole system. So, yeah, I was like, "Let's take a shot." I'd always wanted to play winter ball. Every year with the Tigers, I was trying to play winter ball.
yeah,
Um, so got an offer to go to Mexico, took it, went to Yucatan,
yeah.
Leones de Yucatan,
Uh-huh.
which is near Cancun. That's in the heart
Yeah,
of Mexico. That's not
sure.
just sort of Americanized. That's like
You're deep in it, buddy.
you're deep in there. If you don't speak Spanish, you're in for a good one. And I took German in high school and college. I don't know why. So I could say hello and that's about it.
Yeah,
So I showed up there not knowing, I mean, I was a deer in the headlights,
I'm sure.
super uncomfortable. It's a good spot as far as like there are some good spots to play and bad spots to play there
Yeah,
for imports, but it was a good spot, pretty safe, and I was uncomfortable all day long, had no idea what was anyone was saying ever.
yeah,
But when I got in the box or I was on the field, I was like, okay, this is familiar. I
yeah,
know this. So yeah, I was hitting leadoff for a little bit, and I didn't get many at bats. We
yeah,
just had a good team. I think I came at a tough time. I showed up. I ended up hitting over 270.
yeah.
Not
But
that many at
only
bats,
like
and
13 games though. So what's the story there?
um, I don't. There's not much of a story. I showed up. I played a couple games. I'd sit a couple games. I'd play a couple games, and then that season's pretty short as
Okay,
far as it ended at August 5th or 6th, and then
gotcha.
the playoffs last a long time.
Okay. So then after that, then you join the Milkmen
No,
or
Milkman
before?
was for
Oh, this is winter. Gotcha. Winter.
no. Milkman was May and June, and then July I go to Mexico.
You got
And
picked up.
yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
and
Was
then
the
I
money better there too?
yes.
Okay. And then competition wise, and that's pretty strong right there, right? Stiff.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, there's a lot of guys that used to play in the major leagues that played there.
Yeah.
It's just funny, like, you know, you're just going into an at bat, not much of a scouting report,
Yeah.
and you look up and Fernando Rodney's on the mound. You're like, oh, okay. I
With
know
the
what this guy,
sideways hat.
like I know what he throws.
I've seen him on TV. Let me ask you this. I read a book recently called The Tao of the Backup Catcher, Eric Kratz, and he played in Mexico, and he talked about getting paid and having to put like his money in his crotch during the games because he had nowhere to put it, and he was terrified and like, being dropped off on the team bus, being scared, having a teammate with a gun like help walk him to his where he was living. Did you have any experiences like similar to that?
I have a experience where our bus, I won't go into full detail, but our bus was attempted hijacked and
Really?
yeah, it was on our way on the highway. It was pretty scary,
I
but
bet.
I
Jeez.
don't want to go fully into that. But
Okay.
it was a heck of that was wild.
Yeah. Did you get to keep anything cool from Mexico? I mean, I've seen the pictures. There's like some cool jerseys and stuff like that. Do you have anything that you kept?
Yeah, we won that entire
Yeah.
season.
Okay.
championship that year. So I got to keep a couple jerseys and
And was
we got
that
a couple
was that an
hats.
experience that you wanted to do again, or had the opportunity to do again, or was that like a one and done? I don't think I want to do that again.
I liked it. The games were high energy,
Yeah.
it was cool.
Tell me about
Obviously,
those fans.
yeah, there's like 5 different sources of noise when you're playing. There's the
What we
band,
got?
there's a siren going off, there's the crowd. They play the music pretty much the whole time. Like your walk-up music will just keep going after the pitch is thrown. Just keep playing the song. It was cool. I had been coming from obviously indie ball. Some spots are good fan-wise and some
Yeah.
aren't.
Right.
But it was every game felt like game 7 of some
Yeah.
sort of playoff. It was cool. And I liked that aspect of it. I didn't love not playing every day or in the playoffs. I was
Yeah.
I was inactive for a while, but I think that was just a matter of who was on the team and who was doing well and what I got there late. So,
Did you
you know,
feel lonely at all being like in a country where you weren't speaking the language? And did it give you a better perspective on like the Latin guys that come over here?
yes. I mean, I had never treated the Latin guys poorly, but it gave me a perspective like, not being able to speak the language.
Yeah.
You kind of just feel dumb, even though you're not dumb.
Right.
You feel like, man, I have no idea what's going on. You just feel kind of helpless. There were a very small number of guys that were American on that team, so it was
Okay.
different.
So is that who you kind of palled around with, and you at least had someone to talk to?
Well, I could communicate with them.
Yeah.
You don't want to. I don't want to be rude, but if somebody says something to me, I have no idea what they're saying, and I can't communicate with them back. It's going to be pretty tough.
It's tough. Yeah, for sure.
So
So, and Baseball Reference has also your time in Nicaragua listed here. Is that more after? Is that
that's
after Lancaster, or is that
no,
all in the same?
no. That's I go to Yucatan, and then that off season I went to Nicaragua.
Really? So let's go there then.
Yeah, that
Man,
was
what a year for you, man. 2022.
yeah, that was crazy. I had known a teammate that knew a guy who essentially helped me get there. I
Yeah.
had played well, so it's not like I shouldn't have been there.
Sure.
But very rare for an American to go there at that time.
Yeah.
I was one of 2 in the entire league. So,
Tell me
uh,
about this experience. I'm fascinated because this is
that
like
wa
some people go to Mexico, but not many people go to Nicaragua to play.
yeah, that was different. It was, different than anything I've ever experienced as far as the country itself.
Yeah.
Um, there's a very wide I keep saying wide variety, but there's a very wide range of like wealth, you know.
Huh?
On the same street where I was in Rivas, which is almost in Costa Rica,
Mhm.
and you would see $70,000 SUV go by, and then you'd also see somebody on a horse behind them in like a chariot kind of thing, and you'd see somebody on a motorcycle with their whole family. They got the husband, the wife, the kid, the baby. Everybody's on. Anybody that's played winter ball in Dominican or somewhere like that has seen that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was different. I walked to the stadium every day. It was
Really?
it was safe.
Okay.
That was one of my main concerns, obviously, as a foreigner.
Sure.
Um, but I was reassured by my buddy that played there. He was like, "Yeah, it's safe.
Yeah.
You
How was the
can
money?
talk." It was good.
Decent. How was the level of play?
Pretty sporadic. It was good, and then sometimes it was like, "What's going on?"
Do you feel like
Uh,
were you getting better, or was this just you're just playing baseball?
Both. I thought I was getting better because I was playing baseball. I always
Yeah.
wanted to just play as much baseball as I could.
Yeah.
So, the stadiums were crazy.
Tell me
Some
about
of them
that.
were in. I don't. They didn't have the stadium I played at. They didn't have a lawnmower, so
Really?
there would be about 15, 20 guys come out of a truck with weed whackers,
No.
and they'd walk along the outfield and just weed whack the grass
What?
to make it shorter. And I played outfield a good amount there. The rolling hills. You could go in for, trying to throw somebody out at home and the ball bounces over your head. You're just like doing one of those. So that took me back to Northeast Ohio high school outfields, but it was cool. Only got the water sickness once.
Yeah. How
So
is the food down there?
I
You're
loved the
there.
food. I didn't know really what it was gonna be like, but I loved the, gallo pinto and different stuff. It wasn't spicy. I'm not a big, spicy food guy, so Mexico one of my first days in Mexico, I asked the lady that was serving us food at the stadium, I asked her if it was spicy. "No, no," and I
That was
took
a lie.
yeah, that was a lie. One bite of this stuff, I'm sweating, my heart is racing. I'm like, I'm gonna pass out or, I didn't know. So, I liked the food in Nicaragua. It was good. It was
Yep.
very fresh too. I had a place near where I was staying where on your way in, they'd ask you how many, chickens you wanted, and they'd be holding the chicken. I'd say "Dos," and then they'd go and just chop his
Whack.
head. I'm like, "That was the most fresh." That was great. That food
Sure.
was pretty good.
Were there any experiences there that were meaningful to you or important or anything like that?
Um, yeah, there were, it was good. I think it was just good to go as a human being,
Sure.
outside of the baseball stuff.
Yeah.
I got to see some people that don't have much at all, but they have just like a joy for life.
Hmm.
Um, I got to see a lot of that. Um, there were some kids that I believe they were pretty much homeless.
Yeah.
So, you buy lunch for a homeless kid or something that means the world to them. It's pretty cool.
Sure. So good experience for you here. And then, I mean, you obviously continue this tour of the Latin countries, going back to Mexico the next year. H- but different teams. So how did we get hooked up with different teams, and how did this go for you?
So that off season, I got traded within the league. I got traded to Laguna.
Okay, gotcha. Traded. Okay.
I just got a call saying you've been traded. I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Sure.
cool. Um, I didn't know much about Laguna. I was in a different division the year before.
Hmm.
So yeah, I went there, showed up.
Did you go to is there like a spring training for this or anything like
Oh
that?
yeah, 6 week
Okay.
spring training. It's pretty tough.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tough because it's 110 degrees,
Sure.
and I'm from the north, so
Different than the other spring trainings that you've been to before?
I think it was just a little longer than like a typical
Okay.
Detroit Tigers spring training. Uh,
Gotcha.
you're just out in the sun and all day, and
Hmm.
they really cover everything. I mean, you cover everything in every spring training, but they really cover everything there. So
Gotcha.
just long days.
Sure.
A lot of traveling, more traveling than I had ever done in spring training. We flew across the country to
Uh-huh.
play in spring training.
Yeah.
Um, so that was different. But yeah, I was there all spring training, and then first game I was starting. So I felt pretty good about that.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. You're 29 at this point. That's what I got you here at. Are you resigned to the maybe you're probably not going to get to the show at this point and you're just playing just to play? Or are you still trying to get back into affiliated, or where's your head at this point?
I wanted to just continue playing in Mexico, and then hopefully, like, my goal shifted a little before that. I really wanted to play in an Asian country.
Hmm.
I thought
Like
that
a
would be really
Korea or something like that would
cool.
be
I had
cool.
heard about Korea or Taiwan or Japan.
Taiwan.
I'd heard about just this situation there. Like it was a great. They get paid really well, so
Yeah.
that's obviously a bonus.
Sure.
And then it was like Japan. I've heard nothing but really good things about. But I knew that was a long shot from having just a little bit of a resume
Right.
as far as what I had at that time. So I wanted to just play well in Mexico and
Sure.
then move up, but not necessarily back to the major
Yeah.
leagues.
I gotcha. Okay. So then take me through then looks like, I mean, kind of short stints with both of the teams in Mexico. So how did that go for you? Or it
Yeah,
looks like a short stint from what I'm looking at on Baseball Reference.
short stint. Yeah, as far as at bats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, started the season playing second base. Started slow, just like anybody does sometimes.
Hmm.
And then I started playing less. I started trying to do too much in the little pinch hit here and there that I got.
Hmm.
I believe I lost my swing that I
Really?
had for the previous few years. I mean, that's up to interpretation, but yeah. So I was pressing. I think the hardest thing to do ever is to hit well with just at bats here and there.
Oh,
Anybody could. I mean, anybody
brutal.
can that, and we may
Yeah.
have even talked about that already. But
We touched it, and I had a similar situation in indie ball where I got signed one time, and I got 5 pinch hits at bats over 3 weeks, and they cut me. And I remember being like so frustrated, like, what the hell, man? Like, give me one game or something. Like, let me.
right,
It's so hard to do that. Yeah, I totally agree.
really tough because
Yeah.
not only are you trying to get your timing, it's like you're learning how to hit in a game every time you get in there. You're like, what was I
Yeah.
thinking last time? You know,
Yeah.
it's
Totally.
when you have the continuous at bats all the time, you can build on them. You
Yeah.
can't build on one
No.
at bat on a Monday. You get to start on a Thursday,
Yeah.
one at bat on next Tuesday. So
Yeah. And
it's
like you
tough,
said, you're trying to do damage in those situations too. You're like, I want to show them that I deserve more at bats, so that
right?
compounds too.
So then there's overswinging. There's all kinds of problems that happen.
Sure.
Anybody that's ever played baseball would understand that.
Hmm.
So yeah, there came a point where I was inactive there, and I was essentially just wanting to play. You
Yeah.
know, so I talked with the GM, and they're like, "Hey, can I go to a different team? Maybe ask for a trade?" And we talked for a little while, and I came from a good place. I wasn't blaming him. I was like, I know I haven't performed very well. You know, do I think I can play well? Obviously, if the answer is no to that, you should probably stop playing.
Sure.
So I ended up getting loaned out to a different team that was last in the league
Uh-huh.
at the time, and showed up to that team. I believe it was end of June. Played well the first series, and then it was a lot of the more of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Um, you know, had a bad series, and then would get limited at bats. And I don't even know how many at bats I finished with on that team, but it is not very many. It's got to be 60.
Looks like, I mean, official 43 with one and 31 with the other.
Yeah, so half of 31. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So and then do you get released? Do you ask for your release? You obviously end up back in the Atlantic League here in a little bit.
I get released.
Okay.
I get released. Yeah, I got a call. Well, I text
Really?
actually. Yeah, got a text. I got released, and they wanted me to take the city bus all the way back to Leon, and it was like an 8-hour drive, and that was from the same place where the bus had been attempted hijacked. So I was like, you know what? Let's not do that. I'm just gonna hang out with the team for 3 more days. Wait till we come back because we were in Mexico City. Wait till the team comes back, and then I'll go, you know, back to the States.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, so I did that. I was around the team. Everybody knew I was released, but I was just there for 3 more days. Just kind of,
What's up, guys?
like, am I allowed to hit in the cage or? Yeah,
That's
so
great.
it was funny.
So then we end up back in, or how did we end up back in the Atlantic now? So that's going to be a new league for you.
Yeah, I had a old teammate that was playing there, old
Hmm.
teammate from the Tigers that was playing there, and he told me about it. I told him I got released, and then he said, "Come play with us." And the manager there called me, and that's how I ended up there.
Yeah,
I
and a
figured,
pretty strong little stint there. 29 games, 84 official at bats, 274, 2 pumps, 6 doubles, 1 triple. So I think you swung it. It looks like you swung it pretty well stat wise.
yeah, I did. I showed up, had a really good first 2 series, and then I got smoked in the hand by a fastball,
Okay.
and I missed a lot of time
Okay.
after that.
Okay. But it looks like you played well enough for them to invite you back. So that's where you play again in 2024. Your 30-year-old season.
Yep.
Yep.
So
So that's
I liked it there. I liked the coaching staff and the situation that was
yeah.
going on there, and we ended up winning the whole thing that year
In 24 or 23.
in 23.
Oh, cool. Oh, right on.
Yeah. So that was cool to be a part of that, even though I wasn't necessarily healthy or, you know, playing every day in
Yeah.
that.
And that's from what I think I know, everyone says that is the upper echelon of independent ball. It's a lot of guys that have played in the show. that are kind of older guys that could probably still be in AAA. Would you kind of agree with that?
Yeah, there's still it's getting a little younger now, but
Okay.
there's experience there, and it's definitely a little more polished than
Yeah.
the other leagues I had been in.
Travel better stadiums, better field surfaces. Would that all be accurate
For the most part.
for the most part?
Sometimes the travel's not better, and sometimes you're staying at some rust
Yeah,
bucket in
sure.
middle of nowhere.
I mean,
But
there'll always be indie bulb shenanigans, right?
right. But yeah, for the most part, it was good.
Okay, so coming back here, you're going to be 30. That's kind of an interesting age for baseball players too. That you're done with your 20s. Do you keep playing? Do you hang them up? Strong year here. I've got you at 52 games, 279, 7 bombs. 11 doubles, a triple. How do you feel like this year went for you?
Oh, that year was really disappointing.
Really?
Not necessarily numbers wise, but I had pulled my hamstring once and I was
Never right.
out for 2 weeks, and then I tried to come back. Very first at bat, pulled it again, was out for 4 more weeks. So that was pretty frustrating, and then when I got back, the team was doing pretty well. I was splitting time with a
Hmm.
few different players, and I would do really well, and then, sit a little bit, do well, sit a little bit, maybe do bad, sit a little bit. And
Yeah.
then that's when I broke my knee in
Really?
half
It was in 20. So it's been broke that long?
in 24. Yeah.
Wow.
At August of 24, yeah, I broke the knee.
And you're
So,
still playing on it this year with a broken kneecap, right? Or you
well, it healed up
kinda,
pretty much. Yeah.
pretty much?
It healed up. I thought it healed up.
Okay.
It was pain. It was not painful. There may
Okay.
be a little bit of pain, but
Okay.
uh, yeah, I broke my knee. So that was, I mean, I only played, I think you said 55 games.
Yeah. But
So
so
that was
then
pretty short. Like in my mind, I was training in the off season to play 120
yeah,
games.
a full season, which is about 100 games in indie ball. So
20,
then let's just move it to 2025 then. You end up on multiple two different teams, but how do you end up with Charleston where you absolutely mash? Let's talk about that.
you want me to start in Charleston or in Hagerstown?
Did you start in Hagerstown?
Started in Hagerstown.
Really? You got traded from there? Okay.
Um, I don't know if it was a trade technically or if I was just done. I think I was
Really?
contract was up because it was a 2-year
I didn't know that.
deal. So we split ways because of I just wasn't able to stay healthy, just some bad luck. And maybe they were going younger. I'm an old man at this point.
Sure. 31. Yeah.
Got gray hairs in my beard at this point, so I had to find a new spot. So yeah, so I went to Hagerstown because I played there. I played well against them the year before. They had a brand new stadium.
Yeah. And
It was
mashed.
super nice. I
Dude.
did not mash there.
What?
That
Wait,
was too
no, I've
too.
got you mashing in Charlestown.
Yes,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
going to Hagerstown, showed
Yeah,
up,
what happened?
didn't play great. Just slow start. Nothing. No, I mean you're not going to hit 350 the whole season.
Sure.
If you do, you know, hallelujah. But
Yeah,
you're probably going to have a little bit of a roller coaster ride.
sure.
Um, so I just started slow, and then we were losing a lot. So I think the ownership and whoever was just looking for answers. Like we got to change something.
Yeah.
So I got released. Maybe I was a higher paid guy. I don't even know.
How'd they do it? Just like a standard call you in the office?
Yep. It was after just after a day game of getting destroyed by a team,
Mhm.
and hey, manager wants to see it. I'm like, I know what this is.
Yeah, right. I hate when you hear that, right?
Yeah. So I mean, I just accepted I accepted what happened. I wasn't fighting and I wasn't flipping the desk. I wasn't
Yeah.
going crazy. I was like, okay, I mean, I
But
get it. You're
but
trying
what
to
a
fix
sinking
something.
feeling to get that, "Hey, the manager wants to see you," right?
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, does he
Mhm.
really need to see me?"
Yeah, maybe he can see me maybe tomorrow or something, but yeah,
Yep.
so then I get released and I'm thinking, maybe I'm just done because
Mhm.
my goal was just to have a season where I could play healthy,
Right.
because ever since I went to Mexico, I wasn't playing consistently. And then
Yeah.
when I came back, I just kept having these weird injuries. Obviously, falling a ball off of your own knee and breaking your knee is pretty
Yeah.
uncommon.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I was like, let me just play a year healthy,
Yeah.
you know.
So
So
how'd we get to Charleston? How'd we start mashing?
so I was home for 3 days.
Yeah.
Maybe I was home for 2 days. I don't whatever. It doesn't matter. But I was home for a very short time, and I got a call from the manager in Charleston. I had played against him in different places over the years. He said, "You want to come play here?" I said, "Sure." You
Hmm.
know, why not? Um, a buddy of mine had played there before. He knew him. He told me, yeah, it's a good spot to hit. Yada yada
Yeah.
yada. So I show up there, and I do remember making a pretty significant change with what I was doing as far as at the plate. Um,
Do tell.
I basically just took a drill that within the HLP stuff, it's called the Babe Ruth drill. I took the Babe Ruth drill and I just did that drill in the game because
Really?
I could do this drill very, very well no matter what. No matter if my normal swing in the
Yeah.
game felt horrible, I would do this drill. It was great.
Can you explain what the Babe Ruth drill is to those guys out there that wouldn't understand
You
that?
stand like Babe Ruth, where you're kind of like old timey, hunched over the plate,
Right.
feet together,
Yeah.
and you really coil your hip aggressively,
Yeah.
and that kind of starts everything up.
Uh-huh.
And you go forward, but you go forward because you're coiling forward. You're not just reaching and falling forward.
Yeah.
And I think, at times people lose that feeling of like the back hip being the engine and the motor and
Sure.
in control. And yeah, so I just, instead of having feet together, I just went a little bit wider.
Yeah.
Had the same exact feeling from the drill, but I let my foot come down on the ground instead of having it kind of hang and float.
Interesting.
And yeah, hit the ground running right away. Like it definitely was different from what I was doing before.
Yeah.
But it felt great. I showed up, I think I went 1 for 5 and 1 for 4 and something okay. And then right after that was like 2 hits,
Rolling.
3 hits, four
Yeah.
hits, 3 hits.
Yeah. I remember following you because obviously we had a connection at this point, and you said we'd actually talked about doing your story right before you left to go play.
Right.
And you said, "Hey, I'm going to go play. Let's just pick it up after the season's over." So I was, watching you. Like I was looking at your stats. I was like, "Man, my dude is having a year out there." So let me just call out your stats: 68 games, 270 official at bats, hit 300, 17 pumps, 13 doubles. Man, so probably your
Well, I had
strongest year.
two home runs in Hagerstown. So I say
Oh
19.
yeah, 19. Sorry, absolutely 19, 100%.
Yeah.
Excuse me, no disrespect
Almost
there.
20. Almost
Yeah,
20.
almost 20 dings, man. For
Yeah.
a 31-year-old to be figuring out that old man strength,
Yeah. Got the old man strength. I would have had 20 if I was able to finish the season, but
Yeah,
oh yeah, it was fun. I finally felt like I was consistent with I was doing that Babe Ruth feeling,
yeah,
and if I had a bad game, okay, I'm just
yeah,
gonna stick to what I'm doing. I'm not. I
yeah,
know earlier in my career, you have one bad game, and plenty of people are like this. You have one bad game, two bad games, a whole series maybe, and it's like, all right, let's throw it all out. Let's do something new.
time to make some changes. That wasn't you this time.
Right. So then you do that, and then now like, oh well, I got to get my timing with this new thing.
Right.
And before you know it, you've thrown away 9 games.
Yeah.
And it's like, what am I doing? Why don't I just stick to what I did? And,
Right.
why don't I just stick with one thing and be able to adjust from there?
Yeah.
I think it requires a lot of confidence
Sure.
because it's easy to just switch because it's not working.
Yeah.
Not easy to stick with something knowing that it'll work in the end.
You've been around the game to have that knowledge too, where you've seen guys, you've probably experienced it too, where you made those changes too quick, and you got to have a little more patience with yourself sometimes. Would you agree?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So an absolute awesome year. What stands out from you here? Are there any cool memories you have that are worth sharing?
Any cool memories? Not when the air conditioner broke on the bus on a 13-hour trip.
Yeah.
That's probably not. And we're sitting there. with our shirts off because it's a million degrees. It's just sweating onto the
Yeah.
cart. We're playing. It was like an old war movie. We just needed the cigar smoke in the air to really complete the scene. But that was something that stood out.
Yeah.
No, it was fun being able to have power to all fields. You know,
Sure.
I think um, even before when I was having success the years before,
Hmm.
most of my home runs were pull side,
Sure.
maybe a cup. But this season, I was
Different.
consistently just I hit a few no doubt home runs backside. I'm like, this is awesome.
Do you Can you attest that to anything? Obviously, you talked about this Babe Ruth thrill and saying with your swing. Is there anything else that jumps out to you that all of a sudden you've got this oppo power?
Um, I think just having faith in just taking my swing, not
Yeah.
trying it. You know, it might not make sense to some people, but you're just taking your swing and the ball is hitting the bat.
Hmm.
It's not. You don't want to swing at the ball. That may sound stupid because you're obviously swinging at the ball, but you're not going
Sure.
at the ball. So
Yeah.
not abandoning. I'm just going to take my swing. Obviously, it's going to be in the right location. I'm not just going to swing like it's right down the middle and the ball's low and away.
Yeah.
But just trusting the swing, I think it opened up the ability to actually drive the ball the other way instead of like
Ooh.
I gotta just hit it,
Yeah. I
you
love
know.
that. Now,
And
you
maybe
go
sorry,
ahead. Sorry. Please go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe I struck out a little more than usual, but I didn't for the difference in the power with the home runs. Like that was okay with me.
Sure.
If I can do some damage and
Yeah.
maybe strike out a little more, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, if this is indeed your last season in professional baseball, you gotta feel good about it, man. That's a hell of a way to go out.
Thank you.
Are you leaning one way or the other?
I'm leaning towards being done. Yeah,
Really?
but who knows? I've heard a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm done. There's no way." And then they play 3 more seasons and they hit. I got a buddy that did that. I mean, yeah, I'm done for sure. And then he plays and hits 40 home runs. So,
Now, are you still training like a professional athlete?
um, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. So you feel like you could get yourself into playing shape if you had to. You're within striking distance.
Yeah, for
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
I think even if I was for sure done, I'm still going to keep hitting to learn
Right.
more, to
Sure.
be able to teach it better because
Feel it.
that's obviously a large part of what I do
Yeah, for sure. I
is
love it. So let's move on to some of our questions here then and explore
oh yeah.
more of your career through this. And dude, I've had so much fun. I one thing that I've said as I've gone through this is baseball is such a common language, and I've talked to I've talked to Tony La Russa, I've talked to Tarek Skubal, and I've talked to you.
I was
And
teammates with Scooble.
were you really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yep. High A, I think maybe double A as well. I was teammates with him. Yep.
I used him for the John Huizinga story that I'm going through now. So he was really cool talking to. So small world, my friend. But what I have found is that it's such a common language, and I thought it was, but I can start a conversation with someone if both of us are baseball dudes and we know some baseball and it's in our heart. I think we can connect instantly, and that's been the way through all I've been doing this podcast. So it's right, buddy. Here we go. Hitter's Corner. Tell me about who do you think? Let's start off with who is the greatest hitter of all time, and then round it out with 4 more. Let's do the 5.
Greatest hitter of all
And
time,
I'm not
Barry.
going to give you any parameters. You can take that however you want.
Yeah. Greatest hitter of all time, Barry Bonds.
Sure,
And then top 4, you got to throw Ted Williams in there.
of course.
You got to throw,
Those are 1, 2 for me.
yeah, I would say same. I would say Tony Gwynn, Pete Rose. Maybe, I mean, I would say Tony Gwynn over Pete Rose, but obviously that might just be a bias for my age.
What about like a Willie Mays?
Willie Mays, you could name a bunch of, I would gear more towards more recent, but
Okay.
like I could say Mickey Mantle.
This is your list. Yeah, sorry. I don't want to take over your list. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
buddy.
All
Sorry.
right, starting over.
Yep.
Barry Bonds best. And then I gotta give you 4.
Oh, I'm asking for 5.
Okay, 5. So Barry Bonds number 1, and
Yeah.
then Ted Williams. Jeez, this is tough. I'm gonna throw Miguel Cabrera in there.
Ooh. I like that one.
Yep.
Yeah,
As far as maybe like one of the best right-handed.
100%.
Uh,
100%.
let's throw Tony Gwynn in there. Just, you know,
I'm with it.
surgical.
Sure. Like,
Just one more thing.
sure. Of course.
There was in Nicaragua, there was a community um, chew bag. So the clubby who would do the laundry at his house, because there was no laundry, there was no
Yeah.
washer and dryer at the stadium. He would make like Red Man essentially on his own, throw it in a plastic bag, and the whole team would just during the game like dirty fingers, just taking it out, throwing in, and it had like pepper. It was just cigars he put in a blender.
Really?
It had like pepper, honey, baking soda, all kinds of stuff. And I was like, this is great. And then a week goes by and I'm doing that, and I'm like, my teeth look like. You've seen Seinfeld where Kramer's smoking
Kramer
so
when he gets the brown teeth?
he gets the brown teeth and his face looks like a catcher's mitt. That's how I felt. I was like, oh, I'm hideous. I look in the mirror. I'm like, I gotta stop doing this.
Dude, that's a great
Oh,
story. Where Kramer he has like a smoking lounge in his
yeah.
apartment, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's like 20 people in there smoking.
He's giving refuge to everyone that's been kicked out because they're a smoker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's fun.
So you're a Seinfeld guy?
Oh yeah.
Me too, buddy.
I've seen all the episodes, I don't know, 5 times.
I'm a Seinfeld guy too. I knew you were, man. I had a strength coach in college that said Seinfeld is for smart people. So if you don't get it, sorry.
You know who else said that? Jordan B. Peterson.
Did you really?
He said Friends is for the lower IQ and Seinfeld for the higher IQ. I'm paraphrasing, but
Sure. I'll take it. Were there any swings that we are rolling here again. Are there any swings that you tried to emulate either before your HLP, or I guess you're not really emulating anyone when you do HLP, but let's just say earlier in your career?
and T-ball, I wanted to be Jim Thome, so I would point the bat
Tommy.
and do the stance.
Ah,
So that's a good
like
one.
that. Okay.
As far as swings, like I could say the swings I love to watch
Let's do that,
and take
please.
little pieces from.
Yeah.
I would say Nelson Cruz, Manny
Yeah.
Ramirez, Adrian Gonzalez. Barry Bonds, yes, but Barry Bonds has such a different, like the hand pump and that stuff. When you're
Yeah.
teaching that, it can go wrong really quickly.
Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm looking for more simple
Yeah.
type of hitters like a Nelson Cruz. I think if you do a leg kick or you want to do a leg kick, like look at Adrian Gonzalez. It's or Buster Posey. Like
Yeah.
if you want to look at a lefty or a righty.
Sure.
Either of those are tremendous examples. For myself personally, I like looking at Josh Hamilton.
Oh, man, let's go.
As far as like a bat tip, I have a very similar, no matter how hard I try, the bat tip shows up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if you didn't like that Rangers team,
dude, he had the dirtiest bat tip of ever, and like I'll never forget. I rooted for Josh Hamilton from when he got drafted. I remember reading about him in Baseball America, and he was throwing 97 out of high school, and they were trying to decide whether to draft him as a pitcher or a hitter. And was it Josh Beckett went number 1 and 2? Him and Josh Hamilton went. Yeah, but just obviously his career is insane. But that home run derby in Yankee Stadium, and it's sad kind of what has happened like after his career has ended. But man, what an incredible story of a comeback and an insane talent to go through drug addiction and be away from the game and to be able to step in there and do what he did is just insane. And love his swing.
That home run derby changed the home run derby.
You're right. It did.
That home run derby is really the reason why they changed it from the traditional format.
The format.
Which is tough because I love the old format.
I do too. I kind of miss it.
The whole, this is, I don't know if this is important, but the entire point of the home run derby is how far can they hit the ball?
Yeah.
Right? It's not really the number. It's obviously the number of home runs, but the most oohs and ahs you're going to get like, oh, Sammy Sosa hit 510 feet.
Yep.
Or whoever.
That derby at in Milwaukee when he was hitting those. Remember that?
Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Off the slide or over
my God. So good.
Yeah. That one. And like when Griffey hit one off the Camden Yards building.
Yeah.
Like all of those, everybody remembers like, oh, that one went really far.
You're right. Right.
They're not remembering the exact number. So I think it takes, I don't know if the novelty is even the right word, but it takes that out of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, rapid fire.
Yeah.
I don't like that format. I've done both as a player,
Yeah.
not in the major leagues,
Sure.
surprisingly, but I've done like the 4 minute round. It's super tiring and
Sure.
it's not as enjoyable as okay, here's 10 outs.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think when you're doing the 10 out way, like everyone is watching, everyone is
Yeah.
locked into every pitch. It's like you hit it, you have a little time, like, oh, you hear
Oh
Chris
man.
Berman's yelling back, 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 like
Chris
15.
Berman. Oh man, I used to tape these back in the day. I still have VHS tapes of these.
I still watch some to look at swings because I was looking at,
So
I had
good.
a period of time I was looking at whose swings are exactly the same home run derby to game,
Ooh.
like older players, because I believe that, if you have a quick swing that's powerful, like it's going to be the same
Yeah.
BP game, etc.
Does anyone jump out to you that did have the
So
same?
I loved Fred McGriff.
Ooh.
Yeah. Fred
There we go.
McGriff had the exact same swing. I believe I made a video of it a while ago, but
Hmm.
his home run derby swing and his game swing looked identical. And it was
Helicopter.
really cool to
Man.
see. Because if you have a high school kid or even younger and you tell them, all right, home run derby time, they're going to do a big leg kick out of nowhere.
Yep.
They're going to load their hands more.
Sure.
That's not the case with some of these guys. I think I might be one of the only people to do a home run derby from a no stride. I've done that before.
Really?
That was, yeah. I was just hitting with a no stride and I was hitting a lot of home
Yeah.
runs in the games. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to no stride. I'm not going to change anything.
What you mentioned those 5 swings that you loved. Let me just sit on one of them. What stands out about Manny that is so special that you love? Anything there about his swing? About what he did?
Super fused. He, as far as like swinging with your back chain,
Yeah.
just super simple. The older he got in his career, the less of a leg kick. It's like
Yeah.
if you look from the side, and there's a Dodgers one I saw recently, his head is not even moving. He
Oh,
just
when
lifts.
he went bonkers with the Dodgers when he first got there. Oh man, I'll
Mhm.
never forget that.
He just lifts a little bit and then bang
Yeah.
goes, and he has all of the right muscles involved in the back.
Yeah.
I think as far as fusion is like the number one
And
term.
I'm seeing him doing a bunch of HLP stuff now. Like he's with the Castro Bros and doing stuff like that. Are you seeing that too?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I know
fascinating.
he hits with a lot of people, but I know I'm sure if you ask Rich, he'll have a story for you. I don't want to steal his story, but
Sure. It's right.
um,
Rich is going to be a guest at some point. We're working on that. So,
yeah.
okay. What about Josh Hamilton? Anything stands out there about his swing that you think was just beautiful or worth commenting on?
I just think it's special when you have somebody that's insanely strong that's also quick.
Ooh.
I'll
Yeah.
get to that more in. I think there's another like batch of questions you're
Okay.
asking, but I think just the style, like I would put, with my bat tip I did, and the fact I'm left-handed, and
Yeah.
I think it was just cool to try to emulate that.
Do you think you can ever add in a bat tip, or is that just something that is innately in you?
You can add it in. I think there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it.
Hmm.
I think adding it in just as a movement, just like with your wrist, can be dangerous.
Hmm.
I think if you're adding it in because you are using your back, like if you're tipping the bat with your whole body, I think it's pretty good. Obviously, there are cases for both, but
Sure.
you tip the bat with your entire body, then it's more likely to be like I'm getting ready to go that way,
Yeah.
which is what obviously a lot of the HLP stuff is kind of based around.
I'm fascinated, dude. I can't wait to keep going. And isn't it so cool that Manny loves hitting so much that he's 10 years removed from being a player and he still hits all the time, just like
It's
travels around and hits?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think obviously he made a bunch of money, so he can just do whatever he
Right.
wants.
Sure.
But isn't that everyone? I mean, you see, if you go in some facilities now, there's guys that don't even play that are just doing it for fun because it's a very fun thing to do. But
Sure.
it's
Sure.
cool that he still has a thirst for learning, even
Yeah.
though he has got no. You look at his career, it's like why you don't have to keep learning. You can
Sure.
just sit on your awards and your achievements.
100%.
You know,
Okay. This might be too simple of a question now that I'm reading it. Especially because we've already gone down some of this, but how have your thoughts on the swing changed from high school till now? Does that cover too much to?
Oh, I mean, I could talk about that for a while. I
Right.
can summarize if you need.
Sure. Let's cliff notes it.
In high school, I tried to use my back leg.
Uh-huh.
I tried to stay back and use my back leg. I didn't know really what that meant.
Yeah.
I didn't know like coiling the hip
Right.
or, having a stretch. I talk about the back leg all the way up is the handle of the bow. And we want to stretch everything against that. So if I
Mhm.
have too much movement back and forth, I'm not going to be able to stretch
Right.
per se. There's no point that's going to be stretched against.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. I just had a huge leg kick in high school and tried to stay back. And I
Okay.
had a huge bat tip and I didn't know I had a bat tip.
Okay.
So as far as thinking, yeah, there's a million different different ways I've thought over the
Sure.
years. But if I could go back to my high school self, I would learn what launch quickness
Yeah.
is, and I would learn how to consistently swing from that, let's say, perfect position.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I mean, in high school I hit really well, but I'm also from an area where high school baseball is not
Super.
incredible.
Right. Super strong.
You know, I hit 500 in high school almost, so it's like, no.
Well, speaking of, what was your approach? Like, what were you looking for in like high school and in college? Can you think back to that?
Just obviously looking for a fastball and trying to hit the inside of the ball. I
Where's it at
think
now?
where is it at now?
Yeah. Like, where do you go? What is your plan when you go up there? What is your professional plan?
It depends on the pitcher.
Hmm.
I think in high school and even college, you can have more of a generic plan for everyone, and it can work out. But the more you move up, the more specialists you have. You have your lefty specialists, you have your splitter guys, you have your cutter sinker guys, you have different types of pitching,
Yeah.
and you have to have a few more tools in the tool bag.
Yeah.
I can't just go up there with the exact same approach against everyone.
Sure.
Um, but most of my life, it's been, just left of center, try to hit the ball there
Okay.
because I know I can pull the ball, been able to pull the ball for a long time.
Sure.
So being able to hit the ball the other way was something that I had to learn how to do and
Okay.
and all
This is gonna
that.
be a fun one. What are some of the mistakes that you have made with your swing?
Where do I start with that? Oh man, mistakes I've made with my swing, all of them.
Well, I like I said, I'm a fan of your hitting page. I look at it, and you posted something the other day. It was like a comparison of a pro swing and maybe a college or high school, and you talked about it being pushy. And I know you've talked about kind of if you load the hands first, the hands are going to come first, and all kinds of mistakes like that. Was anything jump? Sorry, I don't want to answer your question for you. I just am a fan.
Yeah. What mistakes have I made? I would say most of the mistakes are just rooted around trying to hit the ball really far,
Hmm.
um, instead of just trying to be really quick and trusting that quick is powerful.
Sure.
Powerful is not necessarily quick. If I'm trying to be powerful, I'm not going to be quick. But if I'm trying to be quick and I hit the ball in the barrel, it's
Mm,
going to be powerful.
yeah.
So I think that main idea is that kind of is the umbrella over all of the hitting mistakes. The other one is, if you love hitting and you try out so many different things, and then you're like in the season, you're just getting out the Rolodex and you're like, let's do a toe tap, let's do a leg kick, let's do this, let's
Right.
like, and constantly changing. I
Have you tried
think,
all those?
oh yeah, all of them. I think, the mistakes I made were I was focusing on not what was going on under the hood. I
Hmm.
was focusing on the type of load I was doing instead of like, I need to get my hip around. I need to get a stretching feeling as opposed to just a momentum
Yeah.
moving.
Hmm.
And obviously that comes from a different type of thinking. And,
Yeah.
and that wasn't, for me, that wasn't present until I was 26,
Sure.
25.
Okay. Um, obviously you have this association with Richard. You guys are friends. You're certified HLP. Are there any other hitting coaches out there that you respect or you think are worth listening to, or do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, I respect a lot of hitting coaches. I just think one of them's the best.
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely don't. There's good things that plenty of guys say that
yeah,
aren't HLP.
sure.
But just from my own experience, I did the old school way. I got pretty good results from that, just in my opinion, based off athleticism and bat to ball ability.
Yeah,
And like I said earlier, what did I like about my college swing? I said the intent,
intent. Yeah, that was a cool thing you said.
you know. So I didn't love mechanically, it was not good.
Okay.
But if you have somebody up there that has confidence and is on time and knows they can do something, even with the swing that may not be perfect,
Hmm.
like you're in for a battle as a pitcher. If you have a guy with a perfect swing and he's got no confidence, he's gonna fail.
Hmm. I'm with
So,
that.
but
Um,
there's plenty of hitting coaches as far as like teaching HLP stuff. It's a very, very small number of people
yeah,
that
there's not that many of you that are actually like I've seen there's actually a list on his website, and there's maybe like 15 or 20 of you. Is that even too much, or does that sound about right?
I don't know all of those people. I know who I know. I know
Who do you know?
well, I know Rich.
Hmm.
And I know a few others. And I know the guy that I went with, I think I'm gonna mention is in one of those future questions.
Okay.
The guy I went with originally, who's one of my good friends. I trust him to teach anybody in the same way. Like if any of my hitters, if I was gone for any reason, I could hand off any of my hitters to this guy and to
Yeah.
Rich, be fully confident that
Yeah.
they would keep improving.
Let me ask you this. You might not want to touch it. Do you have any thoughts on Jeff Fry?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know him. I know he attacked me once
Did he really come after you one time?
on Twitter. It was just a swing demonstration, and my wrists were in a funky position because I wasn't even hitting.
Yeah.
I was explaining the turn of the barrel, and I didn't take like a game swing,
Right.
so my wrists were a little funky looking, and he had tweeted it and said like, "Oh, look at this idiot" or something. I don't know, but
She gone. Yeah. His whole thing.
yeah, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just getting attacked because of the association.
Yeah.
It's funny though because I am like truly a baseball purist. Like I
Yeah.
love the finer details. I hate just waiting for the home run. I
Yeah.
like I think talking about defense and learning how to play defense is awesome. I think the base running. I wish there was more of the 90s style played
Hmm.
today.
Yeah.
And that is right what he talks about that all the time. Now I don't really know what he talks about every day, but as far as like the game is different now, it's not
Right.
as um, old school. But I like the old school game.
Yeah.
So it may not seem that way because I love HLP and it seems like this new thing.
Right.
But I think Jeff Ryan, I would definitely agree with like the style of baseball 20 years ago was pretty awesome.
Right. Now, do you have a origin of why you think the game has shifted so far? I have my own personal thoughts.
I just think they're paying like you can look at I don't know if it was a couple years ago. You had Schwarber and Arise were hitting leadoff for different teams,
Yeah.
obviously, and one of them hit whatever it was 350, and one of them hit 200,
Right.
and the one that hit 200 had 40 homers, the one that hit 350 had like 5.
Right.
Schwarber got a deal that year worth at least double. It might have been triple that Arise got.
Yeah.
So you are valuing the home run ball so much because I don't know, analytics or it gets people to come to the games, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So whatever is being rewarded that's what you're going to get more of.
Yeah.
You're not like, 1980s and 90s, you could have a center fielder who had no power at all, played really
Yeah.
good defense, could bunt the ball, could do little things, and he
He was
was hitting
valuable.
leadoff.
Yeah.
Now you need a guy that hits doubles and home runs. Like there are very,
Yeah.
very few guys in there just for their defense
Yeah.
outside of catching. there's a couple catchers like that, but especially like middle infielders. You didn't expect your middle infielders to hit for power.
No, never.
Now you pretty much have to.
Have to. Yeah.
So I think that shift in the type of players that teams are looking for is obviously going to shift what people are working on.
Sure.
If I hit 300 with 10 home runs and I'm not really rewarded for it
Right.
as far as getting a deal, or not me, but just in general. And then somebody who hits 220 that can hit the ball over the trees
Yeah.
30 times is rewarded more, then I'm just going to
Sure.
sell out for that.
Sure.
It's the same thing with pitching. You know, it's pitchers are not valued as much. It's who can throw really hard.
Yeah. For sure. And I've kind of thought that a lot of how the shift offensively has changed. You know, there's no more like Whitey ball, you know, Cardinals speed guys. Or actually stolen bases are coming back, but stuff wise, pitchers have gotten so much different than they used to be. You know, like back in the 90s, I remember it being a huge deal that a couple guys early 90s could, you know, get close to 100 or touch 100, right?
Right.
And so it's like these pitchers have unhittable stuff. So does it make sense to have a team of small ball guys that knock it around and you need 3 to 4 movements to get a guy in, you know, versus a Kyle Schwarber who he can change the game in one swing. Do you have any?
Right.
Do you
I
think
think,
I'm thinking there along the lines if that makes sense?
yeah. I mean, I think, I don't know. There's this theory that the radar guns were different. They were throwing just as hard back then. But
Really?
what I can say is, at least from my own watching baseball my whole life,
Hmm.
off speed used to be intentionally off speed.
Yeah.
It used to be slower.
Yeah.
There were more of the Barry Zito curveballs,
Very Zito
more
curves.
of the
Yeah.
slow, like, well, let's slow this guy down and then speed him up. And it was more of that type of game. Whereas now you got a guy that throws 99 and his slider's 92
Yeah.
instead of having that wider range. As
Mhm.
a hitter, I mean, obviously it's hard to hit velocity, but as a hitter, my own experience, maybe it's different for other people. I think the toughest pitchers to face are the ones that have that wider gap.
Sure.
The
Absolutely.
Kershaw, 96, and then here's 70.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, how am I going to cover that? So that to me is more difficult than 95, 92, 91. That's all kind of the
Sure.
same speed.
Yeah. Okay. I feel you. We can move on. That's been an interesting subject here. Drills wise, have there been any drills or feels that when your swing starts getting funky that you go to that are I need to do this to get right, or does it depend?
Just taking the movement, lessening the movement, taking the slack out. I'm using terms that maybe people don't know, but
Sure, I know what it means.
yeah, just making the movements smaller. A lot of time, I talked to some college guys about this recently. A lot of times we're struggling, and you face somebody that throws 100, or like maybe the hardest you've ever seen,
Hmm.
and then you get a hit by some miracle. You were just 0 for 15, then you just face a guy throwing 100, you get a hit, and it's like, oh, all I did was just stand there, try to get to a good spot, and then take my swing.
Yeah,
I wasn't trying to generate so much power, and that's usually, I think, the downfall of a lot of hitters is maybe you hit a home run, you hit 2 home runs, you hit 3 home runs. Now let's hit it further. Every hitter has that natural
right.
instinct. It's like you hit a ball 410 off the machine. Well, the next one I want to hit 415
420. Yeah. Yep.
or 20.
Sure.
So that, yeah, that's definitely my, as far as feels or what I'm doing. I'm not a big like, and I kind of stray away from using the word feels because I
Okay.
think feels only get you so far. It matters what you're doing. You know,
Ooh.
I've said it on record before. It's like, I can take a video and it may feel like I'm swinging pretty well, but if the video says it's bad,
Yeah.
then it's bad. It doesn't lie to you.
Video doesn't lie, right? Yeah.
Feels can lie to you.
I totally agree with you. Tell me about where you're at in terms of T stuff. Are you a believer in using T work? Do you use T work for your clients? Where are you at with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. T is a huge part. I think in learning a swing and improving your swing, you have to make it easier to make progress somehow. So you need to take the timing aspect out of it.
What would be a typical tee routine for you as a player?
Typical tee routine would be I do the dry work and then I get on the tee. The
Yeah.
first round or so is whatever drill I'm feeling like doing, whether it's kickstand or 45 or one leg swings. But the tee's really deep.
Yeah.
The tee is like middle of my body or further back because I want to get that speed behind me,
Yep.
right? Whether it's a high pitch or a low pitch, I like to cover all of the strike zone. I
Uh-huh.
think not just HLP, but I think some certain, I don't know, types of hitting and stuff like that. People will train one spot a lot
Right.
and then they lose out on, like, if I'm only training in the bottom of the zone, I'm missing out on those cookies that are at the letters that I
Sure.
can do some damage on.
Mm-hmm.
So tee routine though, I keep the tee pretty far back, move it around. If I know that if I can drive an outside pitch that's low, and from that same position, if I can just feel like I'm catching up and in pitch,
Mm-hmm.
then I know I'm in a good spot. If
Ooh.
I'm having to make another move to get to the inside pitch, maybe I'm turned too far.
Yeah.
If I'm having to turn more to get to the outside pitch, maybe I'm not in quite the right spot. But if I have those two, low and away, up and in, if I can cover those, then I'm pretty good. Now, covering those in a game all the time is obviously very difficult. You're not going to cover the whole plate on every pitch all the time, but you can do your best to at least try to.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: is there a term in HLP for your position right before you swing, like right before you launch? I think Bobby Tewksbury calls it the truth position in his hitting philosophy. Do you have anything? Is there a term?
Max coil, I
Max
think, would
coil.
probably be the
Okay. When you're just
max.
max stretched out and it's time to release all that tension.
Yeah, max coil and max stretch is probably what
Okay.
the term would be. There's nothing left to do except kind of wait and hit the ball.
Yeah. And then I've always thought that was fascinating with HLP, and that's like a something that I think you guys do with new people is you show them swing quickness, and that this launch position on that swing cue, is there more movement that you're doing that's slowing you down, or are you actually swinging from that position?
I'm not sure if I fully understand.
Sorry, maybe
I
I didn't.
think we're just swinging from that position. If I have to make two big moves, then it's wrong. If I can
Yeah,
make one move and unload the barrel, then it's correct.
yeah, what I was saying is I love in HLP that demonstration that you guys do where it's that trick of like, all right, launch, when they have all the guys line up in a
Yeah,
line, and it
I mean,
exposes guys that have another move or something else that
yeah,
they have to pull out slackwise. That's what I
yes.
was trying to say. Sorry, that was a little clunky of me.
No, it's
Um,
okay. That's definitely super valuable. And one of the best things that as far as learning is you can have somebody that, like, very first thing they do, put them on the command drill, don't tell them anything.
yeah,
Tell them to load, tell them to swing. Video it or time it if
yeah,
you're savvy enough.
hmm,
And then teach them some stuff about how to be quicker, how to
right.
have launch quickness. Do it again, load, go, boom.
Show them the
And then
difference.
it's okay, look at how different this is. Now, when a ball's coming in at 90, 95, or you have to identify a slider or
Yeah,
identify a changeup, which one do you think is better? If you can wait until the ball is 30 feet away from you, or do you
yeah,
have to swing out of the hand because you have all this extra stuff going on you don't know about?
yeah. I love that. Ready to launch at pitch release is awesome. I love that. Talk to me about the importance of technology in hitting today in terms of, hit tracks, blast, Rapsodo. Like, what all do you use? How important do you think it is?
I think video is most important. I
Video.
think
Video is king.
video is king for sure. I think um, the other stuff can be valuable as far as blast motion might maybe show you your bat path, but video is number one.
Mhm.
Hit tracks is just like a cool toy in
Fun to
my
do.
opinion. I
Yeah.
don't think trying to hit the ball harder produces your best swing.
Hmm.
So I don't like having the exit velo. Like, let's go higher exit velo. I've seen a lot of people ruin their swings that way. I've no
Right.
friends of mine that were given certain regiments in the off
Yeah.
season that their
Dude,
swings just totally
worse.
broke.
Yeah. People go out to not to knock drive line, but sometimes people go out there to get better, bat speed, and it kind of ruins their swing. And they might have an extra tick, but now they're a little pushy and they've got some holes in their swings. And have you seen this too?
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
if you I don't know if you're a math guy, but if you can hit a home run, you can hit a home run at 98 miles an hour,
Yeah.
90 whatever. It doesn't need to be 120.
Right.
So if I can hit, 10 out of 20 balls 100 miles an hour, I'm
Sure.
giving myself a pretty good chance.
Oh yeah.
If I only hit 2 of those 20, 107, I'm going to be a worse hitter overall.
Yeah.
And it's
Absolutely.
not, and even to say, like, I still believe that you're not giving up that exit velo if you commit to being an
Right.
HLP hitter. But
Sure.
even if you did, even if I even if I say you would lose a couple, it's still worth doing, worth hitting the ball harder more often.
Yeah. I think Justin Turner has made comments about that of like he thinks guys are chasing too worried about bat speed. Like that's like their number one goal when there's other parts of the swing that people are missing, in terms of there's a million other things. But I know I've
I
heard
love
him. What's up?
I love that bat speed. When that came out on, I think it was Baseball Savant, and it was like a list of all the guys, and it had no correlation with
Right.
how good they were as a hitter. The
Yeah.
highest bat speed guy was maybe hitting 210,
Yeah. That
and
was, I remember that too. That
then
was
you were
fascinating.
mixed in. You got Judge, you got some of those guys, and then you got Stephen Kwan, who his bat speed was super low, but
Mhm.
obviously he's an incredibly valuable player.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's where the quickness thing is like, okay, well, now we have numbers to, you
Yeah.
know, make it more valid. Is like, we don't need to swing 80 miles an hour
Sure.
to be a great hitter.
Well said, buddy. You've obviously been all around baseball, different levels all over the country, in Mexico, Nicaragua. Have there been any interesting hitting approaches that you think you've seen another guy have, or a hitting coach that was just really unique that you think is worth talking about or mentioning?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I've played with some guys that I think what's interesting is when hitters are doing something totally different than what they think they're doing.
Oh my God, yes.
Um,
Albert
I've had,
Pujols, A-Rod, all those guys.
yeah, I've played with some really good hitters that think they're doing this with their hands,
Right.
and their barrel is turning with the best of them.
Sure. Now, have you showed these guys video and been like, this is what you're doing? Is there
Yeah,
still like cognitive dissonance there? Like they can't see it?
a few of them. Yeah, a few of them that I've showed. Like, you don't. I'll say I'll come from a good place. I'm not arguing with them. Like,
Right.
you don't do what you
Think you're
what
doing?
you're saying you're doing. And then it always goes back to, well, that's what I'm thinking, or that's what I'm feeling. That's why I try to stay away from like
The
a
feel?
feeling. Well, who
Right.
cares? If you need to think, swing straight down and hit the ball off of home plate to have a good swing, great. If you
Yeah.
think that, but it looks very good on video, keep thinking that.
Sure.
If you need to think, turn the barrel behind you, if you need to think, swing straight up in the air to
Right.
produce a good swing, then do that. But
Sure.
if we're thinking, if we're like prohibiting certain thoughts,
Yeah.
it's kind of strange. Like, what matters is what we're actually doing.
Hmm.
So
Isn't
yeah, I've
it
come across a lot of those guys.
isn't it fascinating that like, you could be an argument can be made that Pujols is one of the greatest hitters of all time, but that he spent the majority of his career really believing and even practicing doing drills very steep, very directly to the ball, and that produced his swing is kind of fascinating. Whereas, maybe someone else that could have ruined their swing. Do you have any thoughts on anything like that?
Yeah, I know. I know. Rich has talked about it a good amount. It's the difference between launching from one leg and launching from two legs.
Hmm.
Um, so
That's a
essentially,
hotly debated topic too.
right. It's like another easier way to think about it is like, if your legs are doing something really quick every time that is correct, you're swinging from your back leg,
Hmm.
your barrel is going to move in a way that you don't know it's really moving. So if
Yeah.
I could get up and show you, I would. But if my leg fires, my barrel is going to go boom,
Yeah.
like that. Whether it's straight down or just off to the side, depends on the pitch, depends on what's going on. But
Yeah.
if I'm doing that move and not consciously knowing that my barrel is moving, and then I feel like I'm swinging down,
Hmm.
it's going to produce this nice swing arc. But yeah, it is. And I've always wondered, like, how can that guy train so different from his actual
Right.
game?
Yeah. How does that work?
I think it's just the game speeds up your movements. The ball comes in you're moving a little quicker
Yeah.
and everything lines up correctly. I think plenty of guys have thought to do what Pujols did in practice and actually done that in the game.
Myself included, which is frustrating for me that I at points ruined my career by taking terrible, or ruined my swing by taking these a million reps of like straight down,
For
straight
sure.
to it, and that was showed up. It started showing up in games. Versus, I imagine Pujols took equal, if not more, reps than I ever took, but it didn't manifest in the same way. I've always been kind of perplexed by that. Not that I'm comparing my talent to Pujols in any way. I'm talking about just the movement pattern.
Same guy, same hitter.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
So,
I mean, that's one of the mysteries of hitting.
isn't it?
Makes
Yeah.
one of the things
Okay.
that makes it so interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating. What are some of your favorite tools that you like to personally use and also use on clients hitting wise?
I use the whipstick, which is that thing with the beads in it that makes the sound.
Yep.
I use I like using flat bat or versions of flat bat
Yep.
just to put a visual on the barrel turn.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell somebody to turn their barrel with a normal bat, but maybe they hit the ball with the side of the bat instead of like almost the back of the bat.
I love the flat bat.
They
Yeah,
can't tell a difference. So, and also you can take more swings with the flat bat and not be totally gassed.
is it lighter? Yeah, right. More quality swings. Yeah,
Yeah. So the flat bat, I use bands a lot around the arms to take the arms out of it,
for sure.
keep them bent.
Yeah,
But there are obviously there's a few people that are, well, this guy has an arm bar and he was a great hitter. Okay, that's fine. But generally speaking,
right.
it's some, like, some swings, if you try to replicate, it's going to be pretty tough. If I take Eric Davis's swing and I'm trying
Right.
to do exactly what he did,
He's a unique mover.
that's going to be a lot more difficult than Nelson Cruz.
Sure, there are guys that are unique movers. Like Justin Turner has a unique swing. Bo Bichette is a unique mover. Guys like that, I don't think, in my opinion, is not super smart to try to replicate what they do because you don't have the same body, you don't have the same mobility as them, and things like that. Do you agree on some level?
For sure. And that's why even more, like, the stuff that's going on under the hood is what's important.
Yeah.
Not
Okay.
not the leg kick and the hand pump and the whatever, but it's
Yeah.
like what happens, when they decide to swing.
Can you think of any other like unique movers in Major League Baseball that you probably wouldn't try to tell anyone else to move like them?
Well, I think Ichiro had a unique
Sure.
moving forward, because a lot of people, if they tried to do that, they would just crash forward. Where
Yeah.
he had obviously he had it down to a science
Right. Control.
how to be moving forward so aggressively, but still have his back leg as the engine.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, there's a lot of goofy ones like Euclid, which is the stance and stuff
Sure.
like that. Um,
Okay.
Ichiro sticks out, Eric
Okay.
David.
This next question I'm excited about, and this is kind of I said it in the intros when we first did this. Part of the reason we're sitting here today is because I have one of your bats from some clubby that got it. I don't even know how he got it, but tell me
So,
about what bat model do you use now? What has been the process of what bat models have you gone through? What have you liked and not liked? And let's just go from there.
I swing 243 and I-13 right now.
Big Daddies.
Yeah, I've been swinging the Big Daddies for a while, pretty much my whole career. I used a thinner bat early on,
Hmm.
my first full
A
season.
lot of guys do that when they transition from metal, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just thought I needed to, something a little lighter,
Feels light. Yeah,
because people are throwing harder professionally.
sure.
But it doesn't make that big of a difference.
Right.
I think that stems from cutting trees down as a kid,
That's what you said. Yeah.
using an axe, which is awfully heavy. So the bats with just a lot of weight felt correct to me.
Good to you.
I also think that's why I have a bat tip, because as a kid I was swinging. As a 12-year-old, I was swinging a 34 in practice.
How do you get that running start? Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get that running start, and so yeah, I've always just swung a heavy bat. I think it's all preference. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I know that you can go through like a test. I think Marucci does it, where you can, what bat model
Right.
is for you based on your
Ideal for
swing.
you, metrics
And
wise.
there may be some value in that, but at the end of the day, it's like you got to be holding something that you're confident with.
Yeah.
Like they say the donut on deck slows down. It's scientifically, it slows down your swing.
Right.
But if you do that and you're standing in the box and you feel pretty dang good
Sure
about.
feels good, right?
And I think that's a little more valuable than
Right.
the point one that you're maybe slowing down on your bat speed.
Well said. Cupped?
Cupped 34, 32.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah,
no one even swings ash anymore, right? It's just all maple.
there are very few people swing ash now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
maple and birch. Birch is a big one.
what are you doing to it for grip? Are you doing Moda stick, pine tar, anything special?
Just pine tar stick.
Okay.
Depending on like what the finish is, I'll use tape or not.
Okay.
I'll crisscross tape it like Griffey used
Griffey
to.
style? Yeah.
Yep.
Love that. Okay, then you've already talked about the importance of video. This is a funny one. What's the best hitting advice you've ever gotten? What's the worst?
Oh man, best hitting advice was got to be from Rich. The best hitting advice was just
Sure.
swing
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
Worst was to scissor kick on every swing,
Interesting.
no
Okay.
matter what.
Really?
As far as like mechanically,
Yeah.
that was the other worst.
Who's the scissor kick guy? Is that Joey Cunna with the farm system?
I think so.
Yeah, he's
but
ate up with that. It's interesting. All right, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, that wasn't who said it to me, but that wasn't great. As far as like approach wise, I've had some people tell me to try to pull the ball over the fence,
Yeah,
and that for me
didn't
has
work so
produced
well.
bad swings. Yeah.
Hey,
So
where are you at? What do you? So we're getting close here to 2:30. Where are you at on the other side of this? Do you have some wiggle room, or do you gotta go, or what you got going?
I got time,
You do? Because I think we might be able to get through it. I think we're
like
close.
a half hour or something.
Yeah, and keep rolling till like about 3ish. Is that something we could do?
Yeah.
You tell me. If we want to circle back to this, we certainly can.
No, that's good. I don't have anything technically until 6.
Cool.
So I'm good to go.
Let's roll then, my friend. I wasn't anticipating this. Let's get into some of your teammate stuff. So, fastest teammate of all time.
Mitch Piotnik.
Oh, Mitch. Oh, that's cool because we
Yeah.
got the connection with the Timberback Co. He contributed on the Mitch Tree story I did, so I got to interview him, and him and I are friendly. He's going to be a guest at some point. That dude can fly.
Yeah, he has a 60 time out there somewhere on the internet. I think it's on Twitter.
I saw it
under
on
60,
YouTube. It's like 6 flat or something like that. Something ridiculous.
598. Yeah.
Yeah, something.
I've seen, and some people may see that and they're like, oh, there's no way. But I've seen the guy run in person. I've seen it's pretty unbelievable.
Really,
Just absolutely flies.
just alien speed.
Yeah.
Cool, and he's an awesome hitting guy too. So check out Piatnik Training on Instagram. He's got quite the following too.
Yep.
Shout out. Best outfield arm.
Oh man, best outfield arm. This is the one that I think I was having trouble with. Best outfield arm. I know best infield arm. I don't.
Let's just go to that then. Infield arm.
Yeah. Best infield arm, Sergio Alcantara.
What was special about it? Just what was different?
Well, he's like 150 pounds and he could throw the ball 100 across the infield.
Just looked silly.
Yeah. I remember I played with him in Double A little bit, but I played first a few times. And I remember thinking the ball was going to bounce and it like rose and was about waist high. Just boom.
Most live arm pitching.
Most live arm pitching that I played with.
Sure. Or against.
Jason Foley.
Sure.
I've faced a bunch of guys that throw 100, but Jason Foley.
Okay.
He was the closer for the Tigers. I
Tell
think
me
he's
about
injured this year, but he's been with the Tigers for a few years.
what does it feel like to face velocity that looks like it has got rise to it?
Makes you feel alive. Makes you feel alive, and you're wondering if they're using a baseball or a Pro V1 or what's going on. So, yeah, I mean, it makes you. Well, you can't blink. You got to be in the moment.
Makes you feel alive. That's great. Who had most juice, most power?
Most power, Keon Barnum.
Really? Just effortless or what?
Well, he's a huge human being, but also swings really quickly. He's one of the guys I mentioned earlier that hit 40 home runs.
Okay.
In an independent season.
Dog. Most quickest bat, most bat speed, however you want to characterize that or say it.
Jacob Robson,
Yeah,
quickest bat.
just nuts. Just whip
Just
it.
super twitchy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the guy I went to teacherman with.
Oh, really? Okay. You got a story about him? You said you had something with him.
He's just a really good friend of mine.
Okay. Funniest teammate.
Funniest teammate, probably Jack Conley.
Okay.
Just a goofball. He was with the Phillies. I was
Is there
teammates
anything
with.
that you can share, or is that all locker room funny?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know if I can share many things.
Sure.
He's like a history buff, and it's really funny. Just some of the things he would say. He's one of those guys that'll just go up to a new teammate and ask him the most outrageous questions. Just make people feel really uncomfortable for
Yes, we all know that guy. We know that
his
guy.
own amusement. Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Well, man, every team's got to have one of those guys. Best hands, infield hands. Who could pick it?
Best infield hands. There were a lot of good infielders. I can't. I played with Isan Diaz. He had good hands. I think I don't know, like, who's the best that stands out. I'm not sure on that
Okay.
one.
Let's go wisest teammate then. Who's the wise old owl? Who was the uncle?
Oh, I
Who's the
got
guy
one for
everyone went to?
yeah,
What's that?
the best hands one. I played a spring training game with Jose Iglesias.
Oh,
Oh,
there you
wait,
go.
Josh Fuentes too.
Okay. There
He's
we go.
Nolan Arenado's cousin.
Okay, cool.
So, sorry,
There
the
we go.
wisest teammate?
Yeah.
Wisest. James Hoyt.
Hoyt Beast? You
Yeah.
play with Hoyt?
Oh, yeah.
He contributed to the Jonathan Huizinga story that I'm doing right now. This
Mhm.
guy's still playing in Mexico this last year.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Small world, man. This is crazy.
One of my favorite humans there. He's
Hoyt,
awesome.
really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to tell him that we have this connection now. Or, I mean, obviously he will see. That's awesome. Most talented guy that you've played with, the guy that you were just like, this guy's going to the show, no doubt. Even if they didn't.
I got a few
Okay.
for that one. I got James Nelson. He was on the Dirty Birds this year in Charleston.
Okay.
Hit 34 homers and stole 52 bags.
Whew.
And hit over 300.
Why is that guy in Indy ball?
Don't know. Nick Torres, he was just MVP of the Mexican League. He hit 27 homers, 32 doubles, and hit 340
Phew.
this year. Those two guys should be in the show right now.
Okay.
I think those two stand out a lot.
Sure.
I think obviously Robson's very talented. I'm a little biased because he's one of my best friends. So
Sure. Did you play baseball video games coming up? Do you still play any baseball video games? If yes, what's the best of all time?
I played Ken Griffey Jr. baseball on Nintendo 64 for probably 20 years straight. Yeah, I was playing that in college still.
On 64? That's great.
Yeah. Me and my buddies tried to get through a full season with 4 teams, and you couldn't simulate back in those
Right.
games.
I played Griffey on Super Nintendo and played that a ton. That's the first time anyone has said Ken Griffey Jr. baseball. So thank you for saying. Everyone always says like the very obvious ones, but cool.
Interviewing people that are too young, I think.
Yeah, too young or too old, because some of these guys are talking about RBI baseball with Nintendo and stuff like that. But there's not even choices now, right? Isn't it just like the show and that's pretty much it?
Yeah, the show. I mean, I would throw MVP 2005 there.
MVP was my era, buddy. That is my era.
Ever?
Any mottos or mantras or anything like that you live by? Sayings, phrases?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I have a lot of goofy sayings, but I don't think I live by them.
Do you want to share one?
No, I can't think of the top of my head. I'm just
okay.
You
Favorite glove? Make, model, color, webbing, how tight you like it, any of those things. Let's go.
My favorite glove I ever had is a Zet, actually.
Zet. There we go. Man.
Infield Japanese one.
Yeah.
I think the Japanese gloves are the best.
Well, just higher quality? What?
Yeah, higher quality. Just the way you can shape them is better. Some of the gloves I've had, like American made, are too heavy.
Okay.
or too light where they just wear too easily.
Sure.
But Mizuno outfield glove was my favorite outfield glove,
Okay.
and then the Zet infield glove. I'm sure SSK is pretty solid too, but
Sure. I've got a weird question for you off the top of the dome. Always wanted to ask a hitting guy this. I've always thought that Asian swings looked very distinct, and even if you like just showed me a silhouette of
mhm.
an Asian player's swing, I could instantly be like, that is an Asian swing. Do you agree? And if yes, what is it about it that makes it so recognizable?
Yes, I agree, and it has to do with I think the coil of the back hip,
Okay. Very
um,
deliberate and slow.
fluid and slow, and I mean, I've read a few books that I find super interesting about old samurais,
Really?
and a lot of it is very comparable to hitting a baseball
Uh-huh.
as far as the mental side of it and like how you hold the bat. They talk about holding the bat in certain fingers and like
Really?
where you're applying pressure on the sword and stuff like that. I think is pretty cool. And I do believe that the let's say the Asian style comes from that.
Really? Fascinating.
And I think a lot of, Sadaharu Oh, I've read that book. I
You've read
think
it? I've always wanted to get my hands on that.
yep, I've got it right here.
It's
Yeah.
hard to find on eBay. It's expensive too.
Yeah, it's definitely worth getting if you're, a hitting guy or even a baseball guy. But
Okay.
um I do think that the samurai
That's the
thought
influence? That's it.
that influence and that is, I believe, a large part why a lot of Asian style hitters have their bat like away from their body,
In vertical, yeah.
straight up. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So
Great
that's where
take.
the triangle,
Yeah.
that which refers to the space between, the elbows,
Yeah.
hands, that comes from the old samurais.
Beautiful. Oh man. Great answer. Any tried and true ways that you break in a glove that's unique or different than what you think others do?
Yeah, I got a good one.
Let's go. No one ever answers this interesting. They're always just like, oh, play catch. Like, tell me something interesting here.
Play catch. No, I had this old glove that we put in the oven and we ran it over with the car. We did, the typical ways.
Yeah.
But I got a brother who's 3 years older than me. So growing up, he always like threw harder, hit
Sure.
the ball further. So we would stand 50 feet away, maybe closer, might have been 30 feet away, and he would just throw it as hard as he could at me. And that's how I broke in a glove. You want to talk about
Staying alive.
feeling alive? It's like your older brother is just chucking this ball at you, and you're standing there, no catcher's equipment on, no nothing. Like I gotta break this glove in. I'm shaking. Boom. Yeah, that's how we did it.
Staying alive. I like that, buddy. Let's go. Most fun year in baseball and least fun year in baseball.
Most fun year was probably 2017 playing for the West Michigan Whitecaps.
Okay.
Just really good team, really good group of guys. Loved the coaching staff.
Really?
Um, Also a great city. Grand Rapids is awesome.
So it wasn't about how you performed. It was other parts of it that made it your
Well,
best
I
year.
performed really well in the second half that
Sure.
year.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just a very like there was a lot of good parts about it. Everything was pretty good about it. I don't
Okay.
some years, your living situation's weird
Yeah.
but that was all good. It
Sure.
was the group of people was they were, really special group. We won the most we had the best winning percentage in all of baseball.
Oh wow.
We won 90, I think it was 92 or 93 games in a minor league season, which is
Okay.
unheard of.
Sure. So least
So,
favorite.
least favorite. Least favorite year of baseball. Man, that's I don't want to I would say just the years I got injured.
Sure.
Nobody
Okay.
wants to deal with injury.
Sure. Makes sense.
The year I broke my knee and in college I broke my hand. I would say any year where you can't play, it's
Mhm.
just you're injured. That's a
Sure.
bad.
That makes
That's
sense. Favorite player growing up. Who'd you root for?
well, I got a few. Jim Tomey and then Kenny Lofton.
Kenny Lofton. Nice
Yep,
choice there.
Kenny
Yeah.
Lofton. Manny was a good one too. Obviously, everybody loves Ken Griffey Jr. That's
Yeah.
from that was able to watch him when he was
Sure.
with the.
Yeah.
But I'd say, yeah, Jim Thome, Kenny Lofton.
So you grew up Indians?
Oh yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
that I grew up a Braves fan, and I remember those battles with the Indians and just how loaded that Indians roster was with all those hitters is just like it's like a Hall of Fame roster. It's just nuts.
yeah. They had a really good middle infield too. They had Vizquel and Baerga, and then they had
Carlos
Vizquel and
Baegra, yeah.
Roberto Alomar.
Yep. Robbie Alomar.
Middle infield, awesome.
Jim Thome actually grew up about an hour away from where I live right now. So the legend of Jim Thome is strong around here. So interesting
Yeah.
choice with Jim Thome. Um, Preferred number and why? Or did you have one?
Um, I had so many numbers.
Right. When you're bouncing around any ball, you probably don't give a shit about what your number is anymore, right?
Yeah. Um, no, I just wanted a jersey that fit,
Right.
which is sometimes pretty tough to do. When I went to Charleston this year, I had a double XL, which I don't wear.
Right.
So that was a massive jersey. I looked like a little kid in that.
I've been there too, man. You show up to a new team and the only thing they got's a 48 Big Daddy special, and you're like, gotta make it
Yeah.
work, you know?
And luckily in when I was in Yucatan, they had a tailor come
Oh,
in.
cool. Right
So
on.
it didn't matter. They just come tailor your jersey for you. It was great. They
Beautiful.
made my sleeves really small. I don't know if there was a little miscommunication going on because I didn't know the language, but I look at some of those pictures and I'm just like, look like a bodybuilder. I'm like, I'm not. Pretty average build.
Do you have thoughts on long toss?
I love long toss.
Big long toss guy?
Yeah, as far as developing arm strength, I don't know much about weighted balls. I feel like in college, I had a good arm. I think just from throwing a lot and just maybe God given ability. But
Okay.
we would long toss all the time. A
Same.
buddy of mine in college, and it really. I feel like that developed my arm strength more than anything.
Okay.
But maybe I'm outdated with that, but I love it.
You've obviously one of the funniest things about, minor league life, independent life is some of the places that you live. Have there been any interesting places that you've lived, funny that you think would be, or not funny, that you think would be worth talking about?
I think I mentioned the trailer situation, right? That
Right.
was
Yep.
college summer ball.
Okay.
Yeah, I just lived. I think maybe not funny. There's just like hotels you have to live in sometimes, and it's like middle of nowhere, weird hotel.
Okay.
I know there's some good stories of guys that have played winter ball and lived in like resorts.
Sure.
Those are pretty cool. I was not in
Absolutely.
quite a resort when I was in Nicaragua. I was in more of an indoor outdoor hotel.
Okay.
Where I
Indoor
would
outdoor hotel?
well, there was no door really. There was just like a gate. But my room was under a roof, but as far as like when I walked into the hallway, it was pretty open. I would have certain bugs and things I just got accustomed to.
Sure.
I had a little gecko that lived in my room.
Did you
He
name
looked
him?
like the Geico guy. I didn't name him, but he was a green, and I just let him stay.
Sure.
There were two beds. He was on the other bed. He would just look at me. He was there for like a couple weeks. I tried to give him, but he kept the spiders out of there. We had a little agreement.
Sounds like a good relationship.
Yeah, I guess that was interesting. I don't know.
If you had to name him now, what would you name him?
I don't know what I would name a gecko. Maybe I have no idea.
You got to name him.
Rocco.
Rocco?
Yeah, but something that sounds, maybe some alliteration in there. Rocco the gecko, or
I like it. Tell me about entrance musics that you've used or walk up.
oh man, you tried to get this out of me before. I used some old school rap songs that I think now are like, I don't need to get so pumped up to hit. I need to be more of like a Zen kind of dial in.
What were those songs?
A couple from Gangstar,
Mm-hmm.
and then just a couple Tupac songs. But more recently, I used like that salsa song I was talking about, and Tequila was a good one.
For sure. Are there any things in your career that you wish you had a do-over on?
Oh man, sure. I wish I had seen Teacherman sooner. I wish I had improved my swing sooner. I think everybody could say that, but I think it would have, I wasn't not upset about how my career went, but I think it would have changed a lot of things if
Yeah.
I went 5 years sooner, or maybe even sooner than that. But I think when I was younger, I probably cared a little too much about. You're in the minor league system, and you feel like the guys that run it are, like they're in charge of your job. They're the ones hiring and firing people.
Yeah.
But I probably cared a little too much about what those guys thought.
Yeah.
As you get older, it's like, if I'm doing my job, I'm doing my job. I don't have to.
That's
And
what it works out.
I was never good at, and I'm still not good at like sucking up to somebody or brown nosing, So it
Yeah.
was like, but just behind the scenes, like maybe I cared a little too much about what the player development guy thought of how I was playing. Maybe I should just played.
For
But
sure. Okay.
that's probably a normal thing for a younger
Absolutely. And
adult.
that's a fascinating take. My next question is kind of similar. So if you want to move on, we can. But my next one was, are there any mistakes that you could learn from or that others could learn from that you made? Do you think you've already covered that?
Um, yeah, I mean, I didn't do anything like crazy mistakes like legally or anything. I'm
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
not a felon.
Sure.
Yeah, but I just think everybody learns at a different speed.
Yeah.
Um, you only have one chance of your career. So what I
That's
what
right.
I don't regret at all is the amount of effort and work I put in.
Oh, that's beautiful right there. Where were you at mental training wise throughout your career? Has this been something that's been important to you that you've dived into, or what do you got there?
We did a couple experiments, I guess, or practices in college with just visualizing. I'm not sure where that would fall in the mental preparation stuff, but just visualizing a full at bat in slow motion
Yeah.
and visualizing yourself doing well, and not just like, yeah, I'm thinking about myself hitting a bomb. It's like going through each and every small step. This is how I'm going to get in the box. This is what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
This is what I'm thinking. I'm controlling my heart rate and all that. And that stuff helps. I did that, you know, from that point on in college.
Okay.
But like I mentioned before, my dad played golf, and he was a, mental savant, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. But
Okay.
I just made sure, like, I never was the guy to blow up and throw a helmet and do that, because I think
You know, strike me as that.
that just shows that you have no confidence in
Sure.
yourself.
Ooh.
And I don't want a pitcher to see that or even hear it, and
Right.
that give him an extra boost. I want the pitcher to be like, "What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
And why isn't he phased by anything?"
He's so ice cold. Yeah. I get that. Um, Let me ask you this. Anything unique about how you have trained in the strength and conditioning world? Anything you stay away
Absolutely.
from or really like? Let's go.
Yeah, cutting trees down and throwing logs and doing the country boy special. That was like primarily
That's your
how I got.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, I love all of like the carry heavy stuff, body weight. Um, I was so bad at lifting weights when I got to college, and
Mhm.
I still don't think I'm great at it. But as far as like the natural strength and movements and sprinting uphill, like during COVID, I would do the Olympic rings and I would run up
Yeah.
a hill 30 times.
Really?
And I felt like I got, I don't know, just a lot stronger just stronger.
Yeah.
Instead of
I get
just
what you're saying.
looking bigger, I was like,
Yeah.
felt stronger.
Athletically strong, if
But
you will.
cutting a
Yeah.
tree down and chopping it up for 3 hours, you'll feel it.
Backbreaking. We're getting close to the end here, my friend. Tell me about if this is the end for you, if you decide this is the end of your playing career, do you think that will be difficult for you? Or where do you think you'll be at mentally if you do decide to hang them up?
Um, yeah, I mean, I think it'd be difficult. I think I still will be around baseball and stay in baseball with training and
Yeah.
teaching and stuff like that. So I don't think it'll be um like a
Divorce in a way.
huge
Yeah.
yeah, it won't be like that. Like I still love it, and we'll be talking about it and training and around it a lot.
Okay.
So
Is a hitting coach your path? Is that what you're doing? Obviously, you're doing that, but like, are you trying to do that for a long time? Is that like going to be your calling?
in a certain way, yes.
Can you
I don't know if I can.
go any deeper than that?
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, I think.
Okay, sure. What are you most proud of looking back on your career?
What am I most proud of? I would say just the effort and keeping my composure.
Yeah.
Um, I don't. I mean, maybe some people say like anyone that says they're working hard is it's kind of strange to me. Like I work hard. That's kind
Right.
of a weird thing. But just yeah, just the effort and the amount of time and the love for it. It doesn't. I don't know if there's an old Kobe Bryant. I don't know who quoted it, but it was like if you love what you're doing, you don't view it as work. That's why like with younger kids,
Yeah.
let's say a 10-year-old, like, yeah, we got to get our work in. It's like, no, you're going to hit. You're doing something that's fun. You're
Yeah.
playing. It's playing outside. It's not working.
Yeah.
You know,
I love that. And the last one, and then do you ever have baseball dreams?
I've had baseball dreams. Yeah. I think everybody's had the dream where they're, hey, you're up. And there's like, you can't find your helmet
Yes.
and you got a bat, but
Not your
it's
bad.
like some strange bat you've never seen. And you don't have shoes on all of a sudden. And it's like,
Everything's all wrong. Yeah.
but I've had some dreams that are pretty cool. I had a dream robbed a home run, stuff
Oh,
like
that'd be dope. Yeah.
that was that's like one of the coolest things you can do, I think, robbing a home run.
Have you ever robbed one in an actual game?
Oh yeah. I got 4.
4?
Yep. I had
Wh-
2 in the same week in
Oh
high A.
wow.
That was
That's
pretty cool.
incredible. Well, my friend, we're at the end of this journey here. How's it been?
Been
Tell me
good.
about it.
Thanks for having me. I had to dial in the memory bank there. I
Yeah.
forgot
Has
like
it been cool kind of going back into some of these old memories and thoughts and, looking back on your career with kind of a microscope?
definitely. Yeah. It's cool to think about, how many different places I've played cuz
Yeah.
I kind of forget sometimes how many different spots I've been and people I've met and
Yeah. Is
great
there anyone you think that we haven't mentioned or given gratitude towards or anything like that that you want to mention before we get out of here?
gratitude or mentioned. We've talked about my brother, we've talked about my dad, talked about teacher man. No, I think that's talked about my buddy Robson.
Yeah.
I think I mean, I could list 1,000
Sure,
people
of
that
course. I'm not trying to
impact.
put you on the spot. Just giving you a little opportunity here. Okay, man. Well, I got nothing else for you. I have so enjoyed this ride. I went into this a little more blind than I usually do because I just wanted to go through your career, just asking you questions and kind of learn as we went here. And fascinating hearing all of it from your college career to how it went in affiliated to independent to Mexico to Nicaragua to hooking up with Teacher Man. Fascinating to all your thoughts on hitting and what is right and what is wrong. And I hope I can call you a new friend now, buddy. I like to think when I go through it and talk to these guys that we become friends. So this has been an awesome experience for me too. I got nothing else for you. You got anything else before we get out of here?
I got nothing else. Thank you for having
Yeah.
me on. Been
This has
fun.
been an awesome experience. This is the post game spread. This is the Chad Sedio story, part 2. Hope you guys enjoy. We're out of here.